Chicago Bears football is next on WGN.
Today's game is being brought to you by True Value Hardware Stores. The more you've got to do, the more you need True Value Hardware Stores, because they've got what it takes. Today, Chevrolet, who invites you to live the style, performance, and fun of Chevrolet in 86. The Illinois Office of Tourism, Department of Commerce and Community Affairs, Amoco Premium Lead-Free, Amoco, your car knows, and Heilemann Old-Style Beer, brewed with water from when the earth was pure. For the first time in 22 years, an NFL postseason game in Chicago. Two longtime NFL combatants collide in the NFC Divisional Playoffs. The 15-1 Chicago Bears playing host to the 11-6 New York Giants. And a pleasant good afternoon, everyone. Wayne Larrabee with Dick Butkus and Jim Hart. A capacity crowd on their feet as the Bears enter the playing surface here at Soldier Field. It's a weekend of irony. You know, the last postseason NFL game here in Chicago just happened to match these two franchises. The Bears emerging 14-10 with their last world championship. Matter of fact, these two franchises have battled 6 times for the NFL title. So there's an awful lot on the line here today. Maybe not an NFL title, at least not yet, but a trip to the title game against the Los Angeles Rams. And Jim Hart and Dick Butkus, I guess you can feel the electricity. It's not a supposed type of electricity here today. It's the real thing, and the playoffs are finally here. And to be honest with you, I think we Bear fans have been waiting for this since the victory over Dallas.
Well, they've been, people in Chicago have been waiting a long time, and when I was down there on the field, and it's going to be the real thing from the fans, and I think it's great. I think the team will really respond to it.
I think conditions are really good, Wayne. The field is in good shape, and hopefully it'll stay that way throughout the game. Good traction. I watched the players, quarterbacks warm up. They seem to be throwing the ball well in either direction. Both the quarterbacks will be wearing gloves today, which is kind of different. And I don't think the weather is going to be as much of a factor as it is for the fans.
Well, you talk about those gloves, Jim Hart, and you mentioned to me how important it is for a quarterback to be able to feel even the grain on that football. And when he's throwing it, what kind of an effect will these gloves have?
Well, on a day like today, there's nothing to feel on the ball anyway. The pebbly surface of the ball itself on a day like today is negated. It's just real slippery. So the gloves are going to help them with the tackiness in the leather of the gloves in order to grip the football. So it's going to be better.
Both teams have been introduced to this capacity crowd. In a moment, we'll have our national anthem being sung this afternoon by the wives of the Chicago Bear players. And let's go down to the field right now. Well, perhaps in a moment, we'll have the national anthem. You could hear the wind on the microphones down there. It is breezy on the floor of the stadium. And in a few moments, the player wives will sing the national anthem. This group set up by Mike Singletary's wife.
Wayne, you mentioned the wind.
Ladies and gentlemen, the city of Chicago and everyone who cares for the excitement of athletic competition lost a dear friend with the death of Mr. Bill Veeck. We ask that you stand and join us in silent tribute and in memory of this warm and caring man. Thank you. And now Mr. Clayton Halverson of Wheaton College will direct the singing of our national anthem by the families and fiancés of the Chicago Bears players. We ask that you honor America by joining them in the singing.
Can you see on the conquering line what so proudly we
for playoff football here in Chicago for the first time in 22 years. This broadcast authorized under rights granted by the Chicago Bears Football Club. Any rebroadcast or other use of the materials in this broadcast is prohibited without the written express consent of the Chicago Bears and WGN Radio. Well, Jim Hart, you were about to bring up the wind factor here on the floor of the stadium. You and Dick Butkus were down on the field earlier. What is it like down there?
Well, the wind is going to be a factor for the special teams, for the punting and the kicking game, but not especially for the quarterbacks. I noticed and watched the quarterbacks carefully as they threw into the wind, and the ball did not appear to flutter a great deal. They were able to throw spirals very easily into the wind, so I don't think that that's going to be a factor. However, if it does increase like they're saying, the wind velocity does increase like they're saying it might, then that becomes a problem. But definitely the kicking game is going to be something to reckon with the wind.
And getting back to the gloves, Wayne, it's unusual, I guess, for a quarterback to wear gloves. So about a week ago or something, Mike Ditka told everybody that if they're going to wear gloves in the game, you're going to have to practice with them. And so Jim McMahon wore the gloves during practice all last week, supposedly, and he said he threw more spirals than he did without the gloves. So, I mean, there's always a big deal about the gloves as far as the receivers go, but a quarterback wearing gloves, you never hear of it. But apparently he's worked out with them, and it should be okay.
A big deal is not going to be made about the gloves unless you lose.
Yeah.
With the losing quarterback, if he has gloves on, they're going to say that caused it.
Or if he doesn't hit someone wide open or make a spectacular throw, then he's in trouble.
Right.
Jim McMahon and Phil Simms are wearing gloves. I noticed Steve Fuller is not wearing gloves, and so if he plays here today, apparently he will play without gloves. But we don't anticipate that. We anticipate Jim McMahon going the distance. Let's talk a little bit about the Giants. They got to this stage of the season by knocking off San Francisco, and I was very impressed, guys, with the way they manhandled the 49ers. They do one thing well. They'll take a certain weapon and take it right out of your hands, and I think they did that with Roger Craig last week.
Well, their defense is number 2 next to the Bears, and a lot of people try to compare the two defenses, that they're both tough, hard hitters, very aggressive. And last week, I think, against the 49ers were pretty well banged up, I think. I think that was one of the reasons, but also the Giants were really jacked up for that game, and it's going to be interesting to see if they can get up to that emotional high this game.
Joe Morris, that's going to be a key. Is he healthy? Can he withstand the punishment that he's going to get from the number 1 defense, the Chicago Bears? I think we saw last week that Joe Morris was trussed up a little bit at the end of the game with adhesive tape and things. I think he had some rib problems. So that's a tough injury for a running back, because there isn't any time that you carry the ball that you're not going to get hit in the ribs.
Here's the coin toss.
New York won a toss. They'll receive. Have a good game.
And the Giants will operate on offense from left to right to start this football game. The Bears, when they have the football, will move from right to left. It's a cold afternoon, temperature around 15 degrees, wind chill about 14 degrees below zero here this afternoon, but it seems to be warming up a little bit. Bright, sunshiny skies, and that AstroTurf will pick up a little bit of the sun, a little bit of the warmth.
It does, no question. With that sun out, it just feels a little bit warmer than it actually is. And today's game is so important with the wind conditions and the cold, to get out in front early. Don't you think, Dick?
Yeah,
when you score early, you make the other team play catch up. It could be 7-0 going into the fourth quarter, and that team that's down has to throw the ball to get back, and it's going to be tougher.
And we got to remember that the Giant defense is number 2 in the league, and to play catch-up ball against them is going to be pretty difficult, I think. So we got to jump out in an early lead.
Lee Roussan and George Adams dropping back deep in twin safeties. Adams averaging about 17 yards per return on the season. Kevin Butler will be kicking from right to left. Butler felt that he has a real advantage kicking here at Soldier Field because of the wind currents, and felt that if the weather is inclement, that it will have a greater effect on the Giants' kicking game than it will the Bears, and that only makes sense. Butler and Buford are used to the conditions here at Soldier Field, obviously.
On the other hand, Wayne, we visited Giant Stadium a few weeks ago and found that their wind conditions were not totally unlike what we experienced here at Soldier Field. They're very much a crosswind and swirling wind and unpredictable wind. So I wouldn't say that Kevin has such an advantage.
Yeah, you can't really start out smarting yourself with the wind direction and all the angles. No, really. I mean, it's important to know where it's coming from, but geez, don't get sucked out. there it goes. The wind blew the ball off the tee.
What did you say? Don't get psyched out
don't
about
get psyched up about it, Butler. Let's go.
Butler.
This is going to, Wayne, excuse me, but this is going to be important to our coverage on kickoffs. I mean, we haven't been up to snuff, and let's see how it goes.
Here's the approach in the boot by Butler. We're underway. A line drive kick sailing toward the near side at the 5-yard line. It's bobbled by Roussan. He picks up at the 5, cuts to his left to the 10, to the 15. He's out to the 20 and is driven down to the play. Reggie Phillips arrived initially on the scene for the Chicago Bears. Calvin Thomas also there. A 15-yard return out to the 20-yard line, and the Giants will take it 1st and 10. They averted near disaster as Roussan bobbled that football at the 5-yard line.
It's interesting to know. I don't know if you people heard about Phil Simms having the flu. Came in Friday, had the flu, slept all day yesterday, but felt a little bit better today. So we'll see how he works.
High formation backfield for the Giants. Slot to the left side of the wide receivers. Lionel Manuel, a wide receiver, in motion to the near side. And the handoff to the tailback Morris. Slants off left tackle, spins across the 25 out to the 26-yard line. Gain of 6 yards on the play. Gary Fensick arrived from the secondary to make the stop for the Chicago Bears. Should also be noted on that kick coverage that Wilbur Marshall and Otis Wilson are on the kick coverage team for the first time. And that was a move, obviously, to beef up the kick coverage for the Bears. Two of the better hitters in that defensive linebacking core for the Bears. Split backfield now. Carpenter teaming up with Joe Morris. Wide receivers left and right. Handoff Morris, slanting right, gets by Otis Wilson, makes the turn to the 30, cuts to his left 35, he's to the 40. And out close to the 41-yard line, Steve McMichael coming from the defensive line. Made the stop on the play. It's a first down for the Giants, a 13-yard pickup. They spot the football to the 39-yard line.
Wayne, a couple of Bears had their hands on him, and he spun out loose. The guy's a little 5'7", about 195, 200, and you've got to really wrap your arms around him and make sure of the tackle. And Otis Wilson just had to let him slip through, and that's what we're going to have to do to stop this guy, is really wrap him up.
Bobby Johnson left, Lionel Manuel out to the right side, high formation backfield. Maurice Carthen now joins Morris in the backfield. Handoff to Morris, up the middle he goes, and he runs into a wall of Chicago defenders. Nowhere to go for Joe Morris. He got maybe a yard to the 40. Mike Singletary led the charge of the mid portion of the Chicago defense. Otis Wilson was also there from the linebacking core, and it's a second down for the Giants at 9 yards to go.
Sometimes, excuse me, go ahead, Jim.
Notice how quickly the Giants have gotten in and out of the huddle, and there have been 3 running plays now. Another quick huddle. Look for another running play.
McConkey and Manuel both out to the near side. Bobby Johnson split to the left. Running backs at a pro set formation. Morris and Carpenter, the backfield behind Phil Simms. Simms takes the snap, drops back to throw. The rush is on, looks downfield over the middle. He goes wide open. Carpenter, 45, cutting left to the 50, to the 45. Fumbles the football as he's hitting the Bears. It's up for grabs inside the 50-yard line, and the Bears have it. Chicago comes up with a football near the 48-yard line of the Bears. Mike Singletary wrapped the arm around the football, and it's first down, Chicago.
But it was a great play by Wilbur Marshall. Made the open field tackle from behind, and that's a great thing to do, to see that. A guy ripped the ball, because, all right, the guy made the first down, so what's a couple yards? Try to rip the ball out. Sure enough, he did it.
But there's cause for concern, though.
Oh, he was wide open.
The Giants are moving. They're running the ball at will. We're not tackling real well. Rob Carpenter's wide open over the middle. That's cause for concern.
First down. Now they spotted at the 49-yard line of Chicago. First Chicago possession on offense of the afternoon. Slot to the right side of the wide receivers. Peyton and Suey in a split backfield behind McMahon. Here comes McKinnon in motion to the near side. McMahon spins, hands it off to Peyton, gets a block from Bortz, makes the turn inside the 50, down to the Giant 47-yard line. Over to make the coverage, Byron Hunt and Gary Reasons from the Giant linebacking core. A gain of 4 to second and 6 coming up for Chicago.
I'm talking to some of the Bear coaches down on the sideline before the game. The Bears are going to try to run with the tight end to the left side as much as possible, trying to get Lawrence Taylor lined up on a tight end as much as possible.
Willie Galt, Dennis McKinnon, both out to the right side. Matt Suey at the moment on the wing left side, leaving Peyton as the lone setback. Suey in motion to the right, turns back the other way. And McMahon tossed Peyton sweeping left, gets a block this time from Coburn, and follows that block inside the 45, and he's brought down close to the near sidelines at about the 43-yard line. Gary Reasons again covering from the linebacking core. Reasons with good quickness makes the big plays in that line. At Giants linebacking core, along with Lawrence Taylor.
Well, you're right, Jim. Emery Moore had lined up on the left side, which really offensively, the left side is not your strong side. Everybody is sort of a right-hand team, but they're putting a tight end on Lawrence and just running that way. They figure if they beat him there, they'll eliminate his great pursuit.
Gain of 4 on the previous play. Third down of 2 yards to go for the Bears. 43-yard line of the Giants. Offset I formation backfield. Peyton the tail of the tandem. McMahon with a long count. Sends Suey in motion to the right. Now turns back to the left side. Here's the handoff to Walter. Walter into the left side of the line. Nowhere to go as Harry Carson meets him head on.
I didn't like that play.
Drove him right down to the line of scrimmage. No gain, and it's a 4th down for Chicago.
Whose ever responsibility was Harry Carson didn't measure up. Matt Suey did a fine job of blocking Lawrence Taylor. Matt Suey going in motion to the right side, wide side, and then stopping and coming back. You could almost see that Taylor was his responsibility, and he did a fine job of knocking him down, but nobody blocked Harry Carson.
Maury Buford comes on now in punt formation. He has placed 18 inside the 20-yard line, averaged 42.2 yards per kick this season. Bill McConkey back deep in single safety for the Giants, averaging 8.3 yards per return. Jay Hilgenberg on the snap now from the 43-yard line, a 4th and 2, a low snap, but Buford fields it flawlessly, gets a high kick away, end over end, though, and it hits straight onto the end zone and bounds through, so the Giants will take it from the 20-yard line. So it'll be first down for the Giants. Timeout on the field, and the score, the Giants nothing, the Bears nothing. This is the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
We got what it takes, True Value.
Now True Test Easy Care comes in 2 new finishes to give you 3 ways to paint your home's interior. Hi, Pat Summerall to say True Value Hardware Stores recommend original Easy Care latex flat enamel in any room because its beautiful low sheen finish scrubs clean. And for smooth durability on walls and trim, get new scrubbable Easy Care latex semi-gloss. Both original flat enamel and new semi-gloss formulas go on with little or no spatter, making application extra easy. True Value Hardware Stores also recommend new Easy Care latex flat finish wherever you want an elegant look in your home. It provides rich, velvet flat coverage that's fully washable. Plus, all 3 Easy Care finishes come in your choice of 39 colors, white and custom shades, exclusively at participating True Value Hardware Stores and home centers, where you'll find values in every department.
We got what it takes, True Value.
Amico presents the Amico Sports Profile.
We're here with Jeff, the great Garant, famous French-Canadian hockey player. Jeff?
Hello.
Who are your idols?
Charles de Gaulle, Napoleon, and Bob, my dentist.
Fantastic. What keeps you going?
Amico Premium Electric Gasoline.
Great gasoline for the great Garant.
Oh, you can say that again.
Who's your favorite character in a play?
Stuck in a Midsummer Night's Dream.
Predictable. And where do you go to relax?
Oh, the penalty box, huh?
Amazing. What's your biggest obstacle?
Oh, the ice, huh? It's very slippery, huh? When I go out there, it's very dangerous.
You're kind of...
Wayne Larrabee with Jim Hart and Dick Butkus, Soldier Field in Chicago. The Giants on their second offensive possession of the afternoon. Their first resulted in a Rob Carpenter fumble. Giants go 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. See what the Giants try here. Joe Morris, if you're wondering, on that first drive, 3 carries, 20 yards already. Very effective running in this first period.
Right, he's a tough player, and you really got to surround gang tackle, or if you're going to make a single tackle, you really got to wrap him up.
Manuel wide to the left side. Bobby Johnson out to the near side. Running backs are split. Morris and Carpenter. Pro set formation. First down for Sims and company. Long count he takes on the handoff to Morris. Off right tackle makes the turn to the outside. Cut down across the 20-yard line. Dan Hampton, Mike Richardson were out there leading the way defensively. And Otis Wilson and Mike Singletary covered up from the linebacking core. A gain of a yard. Second down and 9 yards to go now.
Good job, Richardson stringing it out. The receiver on him had him engaged, but he just kept on floating along the line of scrimmage, forcing him inside, enabling our pursuit to come in from the inside and make the play.
Phil McConkey inserted into the wide receiving core. He is split to the left side. Lionel Manuel comes wide to the near side. I formation backfield. Quick count this time. Handoff Morris, slanting to the middle. And he is cut down on an ankle grab by the head man, Gary Fensick. Couldn't diagram it better in a book when he made that tackle.
I think it's going to be important. You know, it's not just by accident that Fensick led the team in tackles. Because of that 46 defense, if Singletary gets tied up or anything, which, you know, prevents him from making a play, Fensick is playing that safety position is almost like a deep linebacker. And he's got to come up and make the stop like he just did.
Gain of 2 of the previous play, leading a third down and 7 yards to go for the Giants. They set up a slot to the left side of the wide receivers. McConkey and Manuel in the slot of the left side. Here's the snap to Sims. Looks it over, being rushed by Otis Wilson. Floats the left side of the pass is incomplete. Intended to the play for McConkey, who tried to come back for it. He was covered downfield by Sean Gale. Otis Wilson really leveled quarterback Bill Sims.
They ran a trick on that side. Hampton went out. Otis Wilson came in, and he laid his foot to him.
Going back to the play before when Gary Fensick comes up to the line of scrimmage, why that is so deceptive is that he's coming from so far back.
Here's the snap to Sean Landetta on 4th down. Gets a high kick away. Keith Ortigo camps under it near the 36. Started to his right. Now takes it straight ahead to the 40. And he fights his way into a crowd up around the 41 or 42-yard line. So it'll be a first down for the Chicago Bears. A 40-yard punt, a 5-yard return. Gary Reasons leading the coverage unit of the Giants downfield, along with Terry Kennard and Lee Roussan. So it'll be a first down, Chicago. They mark it to the 41-yard line. To the break of the action, let's take a 10-second timeout on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Motorists, if you have a problem, Amico Motor Club emergency vehicles will be located on McFetridge Drive, north side of Soldier Field, the other on Waldron Drive on the south side.
Here are the Bears on a 1st and 10 from their 41-yard line. Wide receivers draped to the left and right sides. Walter Payton, the lone setback. Matsui on the wing right side, deployed in motion to the left. And McMahon retreats to the pocket. Looks downfield, throws the flat right side. Walter at the 40, cuts to his left to the 45, and fights forward up near the 46-yard line. Gary Reasons once again in that linebacking core. Harry Carson also there for the Giants. Gain of 4, second down at 6 yards to go for Chicago. Can't argue about the field position for the Bears. The 49-yard line of Chicago and the 41-yard line of Chicago here in this first period of play.
Well, the Giants either, for that matter. They've started from their worst possession has been the 20-yard line, and that's not real bad.
Dennis McKinnon split wide right and out to the left side. Willie Galt, running back, shift to the backfield. Now they move Suey to the wing right side, leaving Payton as the lone setback. Second down for the Bears, 6 yards to go. Now Suey in motion to the near side, handoff. Payton takes it into the middle of the line, burrows his way into a crowd of Giant defenders across the 45 out to about the 48-yard line. Leonard Marshall along the defensive front. Got there initially for the Giants along with the middle linebacker Harry Carson. 3-yard gain, and it leaves a third down coming up for the Bears at about 3 yards to go.
You talk about that old cliche, winning it in the trenches. Couldn't be more true than this game because of the great defense of the Giants and our, I think, a great offensive line. And when you get two lines going against each other, it's important to come out ahead.
Great matchup between Hilgenberg and Jim Burt, the Giant nose tackle. Shotgun formation for the Bears on 3rd down and 3. The football to the 48-yard line. Marjoram in motion to the near side. The snap to McMahon. Hands it off to Payton, sweeping to the right side. Payton looking to make the turn. Cannot. He's cut down to the play. Elvis Patterson with the initial penetration. And then Walter Payton was hit hard by Lawrence Taylor, the All-Pro outside linebacker. Gain of a yard to the 49, and it is a 4th down and 2 yards to go for the Bears.
The Bears run that play a lot in this situation, so that the Giants really played tendency. And I would say that if you're in a 3rd and 2 to 3, you look for the Bears to run that running play with Walter out of the shotgun formation. So that was obvious. That didn't surprise anybody.
The Giants had 3 people out there, and only Bortz was leading Payton around.
Now Maury Buford in punt formation, awaits for the snap, back at his 35-yard line, and here it is, right on the money, and he takes it, moves forward, and gets a kick away, a floater, straight on to McConkey, making the catch near the 18, sidesteps the defender across the 20, and then is covered up near the 21-yard line. Matsui providing the coverage for the Chicago Bears. First down Giants from their 21-yard line. Just a 33-yard punt and a 3-yard return. No score. We're first period of play. 6:39 left to go. First quarter on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Recently, in the rich and bountiful soil of Illinois, has come word of a new and unusual plant that could yield a harvest of untold riches for its owners, for its people. What is the name of this unique species of plant? Some call it Diamond Star. But for the thousands who will work and grow here, it is known by a simpler name, the Chrysler Mitsubishi plant. And it's indigenous to only one place on Earth, Illinois. Perhaps you own a thriving business, large or small, and are searching for growth and commitment, for training and financial assistance. If so, we invite you to look at the state Chrysler Mitsubishi found fertile enough to plant roots in. The thriving and nurturing business climate of Illinois.
Call the Illinois Department of Commerce and Community Affairs, 1-800-252-2923.
Chicago's WCFC TV38 is now a world power. With CNN Headline News, TV38 keeps you on top of late-breaking world events. At 9:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 6:30 p.m., CNN Headline News gives you the news you need to know. Fast-paced, clear, concise, accurate by America's top journalists. CNN Headline News, 3 times daily on WCFC TV38.
With Jim Hart and Dick Buckus. We're at Soldier Field where the Giants and Bears are scoreless. We've got 6:39 left to go. First period of play. Giants at a 1st and 10 from their 21-yard line. Bill Sims is 1 of 2, 14 yards. Joe Morris, 5 carries, 23 yards. The bulk of the Giant offense. Split backfield for New York. Carpenter again teaming up with Morris behind Phil Sims. Receivers deployed to the left and right sides. Hand off to little Joe Morris off right tackle. Morris makes the turn across the 20, gets out to maybe the 23 or 24-yard line. Otis Wilson over there to cut him off. Richard Dent, Gary Fensick also in that penetration for Chicago. Wilbur Marshall helping out. Gain of a couple of yards. Good gang tackling. Good swarming defense by the Bears. And the Giants have it just across the 23.
Bears had better keep that gang tackling, too, because if you try to tackle him with one man consistently, he's going to get away.
Johnson wide to the right side. McConkey is split to the left. Lionel Manuel on the slot left side. He's the most dangerous of the Giant receivers. Phil Sims with a split backfield on a 2nd down. About 7 yards to go, and straight back Sims looks to throw in a tight pocket. Now wings it out to the left side over Shot Carpenter, and it sails out of bounds, incomplete. A wobbly pass to a well-covered Rob Carpenter. Good pass rush provided by Dan Hampton.
Seemed like they were looking for either Morris or Carpenter to go to it, like a short release man, and both recovered by our linebacker, so he had nowhere to go, so he threw it to the bench.
So it's a 3rd down, a little bit more than 7 yards to go for the Giants. The ball just short of the 24-yard line. Manuel and McConkey both onto the left side. Byron Williams, the best speed on the ball club, is wide to the right. And Phil Sims in the shotgun formation, barking out the signals on 3rd down and 7. Long count now. McConkey in motion to the near side. The snap to Sims. The blitz is on and hit it. The quarterback, Sims, and down he goes. Back near the 10-yard line. Straight up the middle, Richard Dent coming hard. Nobody picked him up. It's a loss of 12.
That got the fans going a little bit.
So it is a 4th down, and the Giants assemble quickly in punt formation. The Bears barely got their punt unit on the field in time. John Landetta now with a long count.
That was a different rush, Wayne. We'll get to it after this punt.
Landetta from his end zone. Bears look at good field position.
Oh, he just missed.
This is the football.
He missed.
It's on the field.
All right.
It's Sean Gale.
Holy smoke.
I've never seen a punt miss.
So
He just missed the punt. It didn't hit his foot.
holy smoke. They're talking about the field goal kicker. What about the punter? Oh, my. Oh, man.
He missed the punt, and Sean Gale scooped it up and went into the end zone.
I have never seen that done.
What are you shaking your head for, Wayne? It happens all the time.
The windiest day, I've never seen that done.
The Bears on the board in most unconventional fashion.
It was a block. They had a punt block up.
Oh, they had it blocked.
Coming from the right side.
Kevin Butler for the point after. Steve Fuller, the holder. Here's the snap. Placed and booted. It is up, and it is good.
You know what? Maybe he's seen the rush, and he tried to alter the kick or the way he dropped it, and he just flat out blew it.
Took his eyes off the kick. Took his eyes off the ball at the last instant. Just flat missed it.
Well, you know what? Looking at the replay, it looked like the ball did take a little nosedive, but he dropped it too far, too high. And by the time it started down to reach his foot, or his foot come up to reach the ball, it did a little spiral and bounced down.
It has something to do with the way he leaves his hand. If he doesn't have his hand directly underneath the ball, when he lets it go, if his hand is off center a little bit, it kind of turns.
Right. The point will go down.
For the break in the action, let's take a 10-second timeout of the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Before you paint, fill holes fast with Red Devil Lightweight Spackling Compound. A half pint is just 88 cents at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Jim Hart and Dick Butkus back at Soldier Field, and the Bears leading by the score of 7-0.
What does that make? About 20 different people scored? Now, who?
21.
21?
That would make 22. Sean Gale, I do not believe, has scored a touchdown yet this year. 22 different Chicago Bears have scored.
That's something. Sean Gale has not scored a touchdown.
Not yet. He did block a punt opening day, I believe it was.
Well, you know, we talk about turnovers. The Bears have had 2 turnovers and scored on 1. That's that 50% ratio, and that's key in these games. You can't have turnovers.
Lee Roussan, the principal deep back. McConkey on the near side. George Adams on the far side. The up backs. Here's a line drive. A low liner of a kick bounding across the 10. Roussan makes the catch at the 5. He's to the 10 to the 15. Cutting right 20. Right sidelines 25, 30, 35. And he's forced down on the sidelines across the 45.
Well, I tell you, boys, I don't want to be premature about this, but we better get that sharpened up before we play next week.
Reggie Phillips forced him out of the near side. 42-yard return. Well, I'll tell you what, Ron Brown is just up there in L.A. is just licking his chops right now.
They got a number of them that can do the job.
And if he gets an opening like that, he's gone.
First things first, we got to get it here.
That's right.
7-0 Bears on top. 5:17 left to go. First period of play. Wide receivers break to the left and right sides. High formation backfield behind Phil Simms. First down. 46-yard line of the Giants. And Simms takes off the play action, looks to throw and has time, swings left side Bavaro. At the 50, Bavaro fighting forward to the sidelines, and he's brought down near the Giant bench at about the 44-yard line. Duerson over to cover for the Bears along with Singletary. Gain of 8, and it's a second down and 2 yards to go coming up for the Giants now at the Chicago 45.
Tough play for Mike Singletary because, you know, you're so leery of the running game, and this is the first down play, and they threw it, and it was a tight end going way across, so Mike had a long way to go to try to catch it.
Bill McConkey split left, Lionel Manuel wide right. Running backs are split in a pro set formation. Joe Morris and Rob Carpenter hand off to Morris into the middle of the line, and he's met immediately. Wilbur Marshall grabbed him from behind in the backfield, and then Marshall got some help from his friends, namely the Fridge and Otis Wilson.
This is like the 63 when the Bears scored on defense with the interceptions and all that business.
No gain for the Giants, so it's a third down and about 2 yards to go, New York. The ball squarely on the 45 of Chicago. But I've never seen it like that. I mean, the guy just flat out missed it. It would have been blocked, you're right. But
got it out. He's a nice guy.
Split backfield, receivers left and right. Bears are leading by the score of 7-0. 3rd and 2 for the Giants to the 45 of Chicago. Hand off Joe Morris off right tackle. Touchdown from behind. Richard Dent in the backfield made the play.
I'll tell you what, if he didn't make that play, he had at least the first down and maybe more.
Yes,
great play by Richard Dent coming from the far side and catching him in the backfield. You don't see that happen very often.
Loss of a half yard on the play. It's 4th down for the Giants, almost 3 yards to go.
Oh, he came from way around.
John Landetta on in punt formation. Was caught scalping his playoff tickets last week in New Jersey. I'm not kidding. He only makes $500,000 a year. It's tough to get along in New York on that much. Here's the snap to Landetta, gets into this one and sends a high kick sailing toward the far side. Ortego with the fake on the reception now allows it to hit behind him at the 10-yard line of the Giants, down it at the 9. And it'll be a first down. Reasons came up with the football. The Bears will start from their 9-yard line. 36-yard punt by Sean Landetta. First down coming up for the Bears from the Chicago 9. Giants trail the Bears 7-0. First period of play of the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Today, Chevrolet is making it fun with an international auto show.
It's coming now to the USA. The fun awaits for you today. Come and be a part of it all.
Today, Chevrolet is merging a world of ideas to bring you a world of small cars. Imports like new Sprint. It loves to run. And Spectrum, a spectacular combination of fun and practicality. And new Nova, the result of a joint venture between General Motors and Toyota. American built to give you the best of both worlds. Plus Cavalier, America's best-selling car line, introduces the new size of performance, Cavalier Z24. Order yours now. Come in and discover why this year more than 750,000 Americans will buy their small car from a Chevrolet dealer. Today, Chevrolet is merging a world of ideas. It's like an international auto show at your Chevrolet dealers.
Drive today, Chevy. Live today, Chevy. Chevy.
The human refrigerator may soon be coming to your home in a monster-sized poster and on a specially designed Fridge Fever hat. You can own this winning combination for a low $12.95 plus shipping and handling. Just call our fridge hotline at 1-800-282-9996. Catch Fridge Fever or give it to a friend. And welcome this monster of the Midway into your house from WGN Television and WGN Radio 72.
Wayne Larrabee with Dick Butkus and Jim Hart. First down, Bears. 9-yard line, Chicago territory. Bears are leading by the score of 7-0. A little bit more than 6 minutes to go. Sean Landetta in punt formation from his end zone. Missed the football. Sean Gale picked it up at about, the 3 or 4 yard line and has coasted in untouched.
Normal play. It happens once in a while.
Always happens in the playoffs, doesn't it? Oh, my goodness.
What we need right here is a good drive now. Eat up some time, because if we have to punt early, they're going to get in good field position and put a little more pressure on our defense, so we need a good drive here.
McKinnon wide right. Galt out to the left side. I formation backfield. Peyton the tail of the tandem. Matsui the fullback. Jim McMahon takes, fakes the handoff, looks to throw, blitzes on over the middle. He's got Willie Galt cutting to his right. Across the 30, and Galt has some breathing room. Out to the 33-yard line. Terry Kennard, the former number 1 draft choice out of Clemson, made the tackle, a 24-yard pickup, and that gets you some breathing room. Now you can go into your normal offense.
Looked like the cornerback, Kennard, was a bit tentative. He didn't want to, it was Williams. He just didn't seem to want to get on Willie Galt very, very closely. But then he's got to worry about his speed, I guess.
Williams gave him some cushion, no doubt about that. And Kennard, the safety, had to come over to make the play.
And they had the other safety as a Red Dog on.
Single back offense now for the Bears. Peyton the lone setback. McKinnon in motion to the right side. First down, 33-yard line of Chicago. And McMahon takes on a delay. Gives to Walter, a hole off right guard. Peyton hit by Jim Burt and struggles forward across the 35. And he's out to about the 37-yard line. Lawrence Taylor helping out on that tackle, along with the nose guard, Jim Burt, and 3 yards the gain for the Bears, leaving a second down and 7 yards to go. Let's pause for station identification of the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
The Sports Writers at 5 following football coverage on WGN Radio Chicago.
Second down, about 7 yards to go now from the 37-yard line. Bears in their own territory, leading 7-0, first period of play. Galt split to the left side, and Dennis McKinnon wide right. Peyton the lone setback, Suey on the wing left side. Now Suey goes in motion to the right, turns back the other way. McMahon takes, fakes the handoff to Peyton and has time. Jimmy scrambling around, everybody covered. McMahon takes it himself straight ahead across the 40-45, and he slides to a stop with a first down near the 47-yard line. Harry Carson came up in support from the linebacking corps. First down, Chicago Bears on the scrambling ability of Jim McMahon, a 10-yard pickup.
I didn't like the way the linebacker jumped on him there, Dick. I know.
Yeah, I'm just looking on the sidelines. Mike and a few of the Bear players are talking to the official on the sideline about something.
Well, once the quarterback slides feet first like that, he's dead. The ball is dead when he hits the ground.
And you can't
when a guy jumps on him, I don't care if he jumps on him with his head or knee or whatever, you can't jump on the quarterback once he goes down like that.
That's what they must have been asking.
Sure.
From the 47 now, first down Chicago, 10 yards to go. Receivers draped to the right and left sides. Peyton the lone setback, Suey on the wing left side. Jim McMahon barking out the signals. Looks it over, ducks in under his center. Jay Hilgenberg takes the snap, hands it off to Peyton, cutting to his right. Peyton hit from behind by Marshall and then covered up on the play by Curtis McGriff. As he took it off right tackle, very little gain, maybe a yard on the play, gain of 1. Peyton now 16 yards on 7 carries. Second down and 9 yards to go coming up for the Bears from the 48-yard line in Chicago territory.
The last couple of plays, Wayne, the defense of the Giants, Reasons, the inside linebacker, and Harry Carson of the inside linebacker were almost on the line of scrimmage and then just backed off. Versus the first couple series, they were just playing their strict normal depth of the linebackers.
McKinnon right and Galt out to the left side. Second and 9, and McMahon looks to the air. Hit as he rainbows deep down the left side. Willie Galt coming for the board, and it's off his hands. Incomplete at the 10-yard line of the Giants. Harry Williams on the coverage, but Williams didn't know where the ball was. Willie Galt did try to come back to make the catch, but just couldn't quite hang on to it.
not a very well thrown ball, but a catchable ball. Willie Gall catches that ball and he's got a touchdown.
Right. He dove when I think he should have took another step at least.
Right.
We've come to the close of the first period of play, and the Bears lead the Giants 7-0 on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Hi, I'm John Riggins of the Washington Redskins. I want to tell you about a very important program for women at the YWCA in Washington. It's a group rehabilitation program for women who have had mastectomies, and it's supported by the United Way. About 20 years ago, my mother had a mastectomy. They didn't have programs like this back in those days, so my mom volunteered to help other women with similar operations. She would visit them, talk to them, reassure them, and show them how to do exercises. Now, this sort of program has been expanded on by the YWCA, where volunteers, just like my mom, meet with women, discuss their feelings, and help them understand they are capable of leading happy, normal lives. Volunteers provide the physical and emotional support these women need to feel whole again. It's so important to have someone who cares. Thanks to these volunteers, the United Way works here in Washington, and it works in your town, too. Thanks to you, it works for all of us, the United Way.
Know your Bears, an inside look at your 1985 Chicago Bears. Running back Calvin Thomas would probably be a regular on any other ball club in the National Football League. But with the Bears, he's a valuable asset in special situations, and when Walter Payton needs a rest, they call on number 33. Off the field, his hobbies are basketball and music, and he plays the saxophone in the Bears hit video, Super Bowl Shuffle. That's Calvin Thomas. A credit to Chicago and the Bears.
I want to remind you the first official Chicago Bears cruise departs Miami March 16th for 8 days. Stops include Nassau, St. Thomas, San Juan, Peyton, McMahon, Fensick, Hampton, and other Bear players will be on board, along with our flagship station WGN host Bob Collins. For more information, call 312-693-8906.
Butkus and Larrabee.
Hard. We'll all be there also. Yeah, we goaded them into that one, didn't we, huh? Willie Galt wide to the left side, and coming out to the near side is Dennis McKinnon. Kenny Marjoram in the slot near side. It's third down Chicago, about 9 yards to go. Shotgun formation from the 48-yard line of the Bears. Jim McMahon looking left and right. Dennis Gentry and Boshi to the near side. Some jumping on the line. And back to throw McMahon. He wings it over the middle. McKinnon latching on, cutting to his left. And McKinnon is brought down inside Giants territory near the 42-yard line, where it appears he's got a first down. Elvis Patterson made the tackle on the play. McKinnon cutting toward the middle. Had Patterson beaten on the play, and a gain of 10 is enough for the first down.
Wait, it looked like somebody jumped and the people...
Yeah, it did. And now I see a flag out there.
Oh, man, this comes after the play.
What did he...
I saw some jumping on the offensive line.
I think he just threw it because you couldn't...
Defense was offside. We're going to find a penalty. First down.
I did not see a flag down there, and I think he just threw it to make sure.
Right. It was thrown, I think, but right at the feet of the official, and we couldn't see it because of the Chicago Bear bench. And Ben Dryett, the referee, then just threw it out in the field to make sure everyone could see it.
Now, that's against the Giants.
What is that, the first penalty? Now, I heard over the weekend that in the playoff games, the officials really don't call that many penalties, so it'd be interesting to see how many they're going to call, or real tacky ones.
First down.
Supposedly they don't do it.
42-yard line of the Giants. Galled out to the left side. Marjoram is split to the right. I formation backfield for the Chicago Bears. Tail of the tandem, Peyton. Fullback is Suey. Here's the handoff to Matt Suey. Dives up the middle, breaks through inside the 40, and Suey down to the 37-yard line. Lawrence Taylor, Leonard Marshall on the tackle for the Giants, along with Gary Reasons. Gain of 5. Second down at 5 yards to go coming up now for the Bears, and Chicago beginning to move the football. This drive started back where? At the 9-yard line of the big pass play to Willie Gall at 24 yards, got him out across the 30.
Looks like Suey ticked off Lawrence Taylor about something.
Don't want to get Taylor mad.
Well, then I'm getting mad, I think.
Galt wide left, and McKinnon is split to the right side. Peyton the lone setback now. Suey on the wing right side. Second down and 5 now. Giants at a blitz posture defensively. And McMahon rears back to throw. In the pocket, steps up, swings the right side, got his man, and wrapped up immediately on the play is Matt Suey, short of a first down of the Bears. Kenny Hill right there on the tackle near the 33-yard line. I believe the Bears will be just short of that first down.
Wayne, what they're doing on defense, the inside linebackers, either one or both, are getting down in the line in a lineman's position, which means that everybody's covered on the offensive line. And I think the theory behind them is that one-on-one, either Marshall or someone's going to break through the Bear offensive line and make a sack on a passing situation. And I think that'd be the only reason why they put everybody covering each offensive lineman.
Gain of 4, third down and a yard to go now for the Chicago Bears near the 33-yard line of the Giants. Split backfield, Payton and Suey. Galt wide to the left side, Payton in motion to the near side. McMahon toss Suey, off right tackle, has the hole, and a first down inside the 30 as he makes the turn to the 29-yard line.
There goes Taylor again. Now he's pushing McMahon around for some reason. Now
Jim McMahon tried to block Lawrence Taylor. Threw at his feet.
That's the trouble with these not hot dog linebackers. Taylor's a good one, but there's no reason to be. They're allowed to throw. People are supposed to throw blocks at you.
That's right. But not necessarily the quarterback, though.
Well,
Carl Banks made the tackle just inside the 29 of the Giants are the Bears on the drive, leading by the score of 7-0 early second period of play here at Soldier Field.
Look for Jim McMahon to start audibling when they go to that every five-man down line position, because it's a one-on-one pass coverage, and it's ideal.
10th play of the drive that started at the Chicago 9-yard line. In motion, Payton to the near side on 1st and 10. And McMahon off the play action, rolls right, now stops. Comes back over the middle. Leaping grab, Willie Galt inside the 15 of the Giants, and he's brought down to the 12-yard line. That's a first down, Chicago. Lawrence Taylor made the tackle. 16-yard pickup for the Bears.
Willie curling in. He gets kind of tentative when he curls inside there and waiting for the ball like that. And he had a nice reception, a little bobble. I think if someone would have hit him right away, he would have had trouble holding on to it. But that's good to see that Willie's going to, concentrate and hold the ball, because that's a little tough area there when you got guys like Taylor floating around.
McMahon, 5 of 6, 56 yards in the passing department from the 12-yard line of New York. A first down for the Bears. Back to throw, McMahon pop flies the right side of the end zone. It's incomplete. Giants had the all-out blitz on it. It was Lawrence Taylor who got to Jim McMahon, and Jim just threw the football away down the right side. With the break of the action, let's take a 10-second timeout on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Nothing goes with the Bears like the Browns. Chicken, that is. To feed parties with lots of hungry fans, call Brown's Chicken Catering at 4 BROWNS.
Wayne Larrabee, Jim Hart, and Dick Butkus. The Bears facing a 2nd and 10 from the Giant 12-yard line. McKinnon wide to the left side, and Willie Galt split to the right. Matt Suey on the wing left side. Walter Payton the lone setback. Tim Reitman, the tight end, left side. Jim McMahon looks over the defense. He hands it off to Payton, slanting off right tackle. Payton runs into Lawrence Taylor and is wrapped up on the play. Got maybe to the 10-yard line. Looked to be a gain of about 2 yards. LT was there on that tackle for the Giants. He had support coming from Andy Hedden, the third-year pro out of Clemson. Now the Bears face a third down at 8 yards to go.
When the Bears can't get a tight end on Lawrence Taylor, they always send someone back in motion, in this case Matt Suey, trying to gain some leverage and put a blocker on Lawrence Taylor. You never want to let him come free or be free.
Got to run a sweep pass, option pass with Payton.
Wide receivers left and right. Split backfield behind McMahon on a third down and 8 from the 10-yard line of the Giants. And McMahon takes and rolls right, looks to throw, comes back the other way to Suey, makes the catch to the 20. He's racing to the sideline to the 15, to the 10. Caught from behind, and down he goes near the 8-yard line. Harry Carson, the 10-year pro out of South Carolina State, the all-pro linebacker, chased him down and made the tackle to mark the ball just inside the 9. A gain of 2 yards on the play. It is 4th down for the Bears.
The ball was thrown, right? If Jim McMahon could have given him a good ball to catch, he'd have scored easily. But Jimmy threw it behind him a little bit. In fact, it was a good job by Matt Suey to even catch it at all. It looked like it might have came close to brushing the ground as he caught it. And he did well to get what he could.
They spot it down just outside the 16-yard line. 10 of the end zone. Makes for a 26-yard field goal attempt. The angle to the left. Hilgenberg on the snap, out of the hold of Steve Fuller. Here it is, placed down, booted by Butler. It is up, and it is no good. Off to the left side. So Kevin Butler off the mark, and the Bears hang on to a 7-0 lead over the New York Giants with 9:31 left to go. First half of play on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
On the walls of a cave near Lascaux in southern France are some crude but remarkably sensitive paintings. Paintings which show animals that disappeared from Europe 10,000 years ago. The people who made the paintings also disappeared, leaving few traces of their civilization behind. There is almost nothing on Earth, including the Earth itself, which has remained the way it was. One exception is water. Water, stored deep in stone caverns below the ground, will stay in its perfect, pure, natural state for tens of thousands of years. To make our old-style beer, the House of Heilemann brews only with water of a purity and freshness that can no longer be found on the surface of the earth. To end with perfection, we begin with perfection. Heilemann's old-style beer, brewed with water from when the earth was pure. G. Heilemann Brewing Company, La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Come on, Bears fans. Drive over to Firestone. January is Firestone Tire and Service Month. All-season radials are on sale now. Get 4 for $99. Size P, 155/80R13. Take advantage of Mastercare car service specials, too. For this week only, save on a Mastercare lube, oil, and filter, just $12.88 for most cars. The tire sale ends February 1st. Offers available at Firestone Company-owned stores in Chicagoland. Come on, America. Drive over to Firestone.
Wayne Larrabee, Jim Hart, and Dick Butkus, Soldier Field in Chicago. Yes, it's cold, but it's at least palatable out there. It's sunny. The wind is a factor, there's no doubt about that. But the field is in excellent shape, and the Park District and whoever helped them out, they had some help from the NFL. They did a masterful job of getting the playing surface ready for this football game this afternoon. Now the Giants at a first down from the 20-yard line. Rob Carpenter, the long setback. Joe Morris, wide receiver to the right side. Slot to the left side of the normal wide receivers, Lionel Manuel and Bobby Johnson. Bill Sims ducks in under his center. Bart Oates takes the snap back to throw. Blitz is on. Sims is hit by Wilson. There's the fumble. And the ball covered up, I believe, by the Giants inside the 10-yard line. Richard Dent says it's Chicago football. Dent and Otis Wilson on a sandwich job of the Giants quarterback, and the officials motion New York football. If I'm not mistaken, Phil Sims got it back.
I think the Bears could have gotten it. When Dent hit him, the ball dropped down, and he didn't make a move anywhere. He waited for somebody else to get the ball.
I don't think you can see it, Dick. I think it was behind him.
Again, the pressure on with the blitzing linebacker, and then Dent from the blind side. The ball up for grabs.
Yeah, he didn't really see it. He was looking around for it.
Loss of 12 on that play. Second down at 22 yards to go for the Giants. Football back on the 8-yard line of New York. Split backfield now for the Giants. Here's the handoff. Joe Morris off left tackle makes the turn to the 5 to the 10. Cut down from behind. Dan Hampton and Les Frazier team up on the tackle near the 13-yard line. Joe Morris comes barreling around the end. Gain of 6 on that play. Giants now face a third down, still long yardage situation.
The way the Bears play that defense, a lot of times one man has the responsibility of bringing down the ball carrier. Now, if he doesn't make that stop on a guy like Joe Morris, we're in trouble. So we've got to have inside pursuit, and that's what happened on that last play is because Hampton came in and helped on the tackle.
Third down and 17 yards to go now for the New York Giants. Slot to the right side. Giants football from the 12.5-yard line in New York territory. And Sims back to throw. Scans the secondary. Has time. Rainbows deep down the left side going for McConkey, and it's incomplete.
Lost it in the sun, Wayne.
Well, he did lose it in the sun. Make that Bobby Johnson down the near sidelines. McConkey was also in the same area. But Johnson, the intended receiver, Les Frazier, was flanking him, and he just lost it. The ball sailed over his head.
Either one of them could see it.
Yeah, it looks like Frazier lost it too. Good job.
Early afternoon sun. It's 12:15 here in Chicago, so the sun is a little difficult. There's no question about that. Now Sean Landeta in punt formation from his end zone. Last time he was in his end zone to punt, he missed the football.
Right, made punting excitement.
Here is the snap, and Landeta gets away. A line drive kick, and the ball hits across the 45 on the bound. Picked up on the play by Ortego near the 36. Makes the turn, sidestepping a defender across the 35 out to the 40-yard line.
Too many guys standing around. Got to block for him.
Gary Reasons made the tackle for the New York Giants. First down, good field position once again for the Chicago offense. The worst position has been one drive starting at the Chicago 9. Otherwise, it's been good field position for the offense this afternoon. The Bears will start first and 10 from their 40. 7-0 Bears, second period of play on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Tired of winter giving it a cold shoulder? Ozark is turning on the heat.
Got heat wave, and you feel
sweeping over all of Florida with lots of flights to all the hottest spots.
Don't pass up this ride. You can really turn the tide on Heatwave. Ozark Heatwave.
Right now, you can book Ozark's ultra-hot, ultra-saver fares to Tampa, Sarasota, Fort Myers, and Orlando. Same fine food and service, but with up to 70% off our regular fare. At that price, you can't afford to be cold. Make your reservations now.
Don't pass up this fare. Let Ozark take you there on Heatwave. Ozark Heatwave.
The action doesn't stop after today's ball game. Stay tuned for 3.5 hours of post-game coverage. Larrabee, Hart, Butkus, Bob Thomas, Hub Arkush, George Reddix, and yours truly, Chuck Swirsky. And, of course, you and other fans. With analysis, replays, the locker room scene, Bears talk on the phone, and for a different perspective, the sports writers. Then tomorrow morning at 7:30, hear what Mike Ditka has to say on the Wally Phillips Show. It's no contest. For Bears football, you just can't beat WGN Radio.
Wayne Larrabee, Jim Hart, and Dick Butkus, Soldier Field in Chicago. And the Bears start from the 40-yard line. Their average field position's got to be real good. I mean, the one drive started at the 9. First drive started at the 49-yard line. Second drive at the 9, and now this one out at the 40-yard line.
But the problem is we've come up with no points.
The last drive, 14 plays, 83 yards, and the missed field goal. Dennis McKinnon wide to the left side. Willie Gault wide right. Calvin Thomas now the fullback with Walter Payton the tailback. They move Thomas to the wing left side, leaving Payton as the lone setback. Jim McMahon ducks in under his center. Jay Hilgenberg now motions for some movement by Calvin Thomas. He rejoins Payton in the backfield. First and 10 from the 40-yard line. A long count, toss to Calvin Thomas. Sweeping right, gets a block from Payton. Makes the turn behind that block by Walter out to the 45-yard line. Harry Carson got over to make the tackle. Walter Payton put a pretty good block, it looked like, on Carl Banks that time.
Jim, I wonder if that was an audible because the Giants lined up in that five-man line. They brought up the linebackers and put them on three-point stance, so every offensive lineman was covered, and
that would be a good audible against that because everyone's inside, and if you can get somebody around to the outside very quickly and everyone blocked down, that's a good play.
Gain of 5 of the previous play, second down, and 5 yards to go from the 45-yard line. Slot to the left side of the wide receivers for Chicago. Calvin Thomas on the wing right side. Payton the lone setback. Thomas in motion to the near sidelines. And McMahon hands it off to Payton. Walter up the middle. Tripped up on the play by Curtis McGriff across the 45 out to about the 46-yard line. No farther. Got a yard out of that. Gary Reason supporting from the linebacking core. Walter now 9 carries, 19 yards. Dan Hampton suffered a cut hand, and we do not know the severity of it. I imagine they'll tape it up, and he'll be back in there.
They did put some tape on it, and it looks like the bleeding has stopped. Just a quick word about Dan. He went to the bench then and tried to grab a Gatorade to wet his whistle a little bit. The Gatorade was frozen.
Ooh.
You tell me it's not cold down there?
I didn't say that. Third down and 4 yards to go now from the 46-yard line. Bears territory. Slot left to the slot right. The snap to McMahon out of the shotgun. Rainbows deep down the left sideline. Coming back to making the diving grab on the play. On the far side of the first down of the Giant 26-yard line is Willie Gault.
All right, Willie.
Harry Williams had the coverage. But again, Willie Gault came back for the football. This time latched on for a first down, a 28-yard pickup.
You know, this looks like a poorly thrown ball by Jim McMahon, but I think in seeing that Willie was covered, that he threw it behind him on purpose because the defender is always going to watch the man. He can't afford to turn around and watch the ball, so he watches the man. And what Willie does is just run as hard as he can. Then at the last instant, stops and comes back. It's like a deep comeback. And so that's a planned play, even though it doesn't look like it's a good pass.
28-yard pickup now. McMahon is 7 of 9, 86 yards to the passing department. Operates out of the I formation backfield. Gault left, McKinnon wide right. Now McKinnon in motion to the left side. Here's the toss to Payton. Hands it off to McKinnon on a reverse. The end around. He makes the turn at the 35, but is cut down. Giants were not fooled at all on that. Lawrence Taylor was out in front of that play along with Jim Burt, the nose tackle. And billing back to the 35-yard line, McKinnon had to sidestep another defender, and that really is what turned the play sour. Leonard Marshall had busted through.
Seemed like it took too long to develop. The timing was just not real good because obviously it's going to take a little longer than a regular play, but it just didn't. It just took too long, and the defenders have too much time to react.
Seemed like they ran it too deep too.
Yeah.
Loss of 7 on that play now. 2nd down and 17 for Chicago. Football on the 33-yard line of the Giants. Split backfield, receivers left and right. And McMahon looks to throw, gets a block from Payton, now steps up and scrambles to his right, and McMahon is brought down inside the 35, near the 32-yard line. May have gotten a yard or two. Harry Carson got over to make a hit on the play for the Giants. Gain of just a yard is all they give him.
I think the Giants made an adjustment now. Now, the last time we were strong right, strong left to the defense, and Lawrence Taylor moved to the weak side. This time, the Bears came out strong left like they did in the first quarter, and now Taylor moved back on the weak side. So I think they're going to just counter the Bears' move and move Taylor away from the tight end every time, because he's more valuable with his pursuit that way.
3rd down and 16 yards to go. 32-yard line of the Giants. Shotgun formation for the Bears. Slot formations to the left and right sides. Gentry in motion to the right side. McMahon takes the snap, rolls right, floats the right sideline for McKinnon, makes a leaping attempt, and he bobbles it incomplete on the sidelines. Would have had a first down near the 10-yard line, went high into the air. Elvis Patterson had the coverage defensively. Little pop fly down the right sidelines, and McKinnon couldn't haul it in.
Going back to what Dick was saying about how Lawrence Taylor is moving away from the tight end, what the Bears can do now, though, to combat that is put Emory Moorhead in motion. Keep him off the line of scrimmage, and whatever side that Lawrence Taylor goes to, they can motion to that side, and you still get your tight end on Lawrence Taylor.
Field goal try coming up from the 39-yard line is where they'll spot the ball. 10 in the end zone makes for a 49-yard field goal attempt. Butler earlier missed a 26-yarder. Signals are being called out of the hold of Steve Fuller. Fuller glancing toward the center with the arm extended. Here's the snap, the placement by Fuller, the kick by Butler, a low liner of a kick. Somebody may have gotten a piece of it as it sails short. Penalty marker down on the play. Looked like somebody got a piece of it the way the ball came out of there. And the kick sailed short of the mark. Straight on, but short. And the Giants are saying the penalty against the Bears.
Offense, illegal motion, number 71, decline the penalty. It's first down the other way.
First down for the Giants as the Bears are guilty of the penalty. The Giants take it on a first down. We've got a break of the action. 3:45 left to go in the half. Bears 7, Giants nothing on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
A light bulb is something you seldom think about unless one burns out. So be prepared with replacements by stocking up on extra bulbs while they're specially priced at True Value hardware stores. Hi, Pat Summerall to tell you they're offering a 4-pack of GE soft white bulbs in 40, 60, 75, or 100 watt for just $1.99. These bulbs will provide a generous amount of light while reducing glare and shadows. You can also get a GE soft white 3-way bulb in 30, 70, and 100 watts for just $1.39 at True Value hardware stores. The soft white 3-way lets you adjust room lighting for reading, watching TV, or relaxing, so you can conserve energy to help save money. Stock up on extra bulbs and be prepared when they burn out. You'll find quality GE products for all your lighting needs at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers. And while you're there, be sure to pick up an application for a True Value charge card, good at thousands of participating True Value hardware stores nationwide. Ask your dealer for details.
Did you know that the stereo television you listen to was designed by Zenith? Yes, Zenith's stereo system has been set as the standard for broadcast, the benchmark that will be used by all television stations. So when you're ready to buy your next color television, make it stereo and be sure it's a Zenith. Zenith has 19 models, full-feature multi-channel television sound, TV and VCR remote control, and 178-channel quartz tuning. That's why Zenith is the leader in color television.
Sean Landetta, punting from his end zone of the first period of play, missed the football. He whiffed on it. Bears scooped it up in the person of Sean Gale, motored into the end zone. That's the only score of the day. The Giants, matter of fact, have just one first down offensively. That came in the first drive. Now New York takes over on a 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Split backfield, receivers right and left, handoff Joey Morris. Sweep to the right side, cuts it back. Heat to the 30, and Morris covered up near the 33-yard line, no farther. Gain of about 2. William Perry got over from the defensive line along with Otis Wilson. Joe Morris slow in getting up.
Wayne, getting back to that missed field goal, you know, everybody was talking about the Giants. Schubert missing a bunch of them last week.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, you can't do that. I mean, every time you get a chance to score, you got to score, especially against the Giants because of their defense. You know, we're not, you know, burning holes in there running the ball, so we've got to take every opportunity.
McConkey wide to the right side, and out to the left side. A Lionel Manuel split backfield for the New York Giants on a second down, 8 yards to go, just short of the 34-yard line. And Sims throw is hit on the play. Did he release the football? Yes, he did. It was a forward pass, and they ruled it incomplete. Richard Dent again pressuring the quarterback.
Did he hit him and then he threw it, or what? I've seen that called in the grasp and sack at that point more than I've seen it called incomplete pass like that.
He released the football as he hit it. He was wheeling back to throw it, it looked like, with his arm, and then as Dent hit him, the impact, the ball came loose as apparently Sims was pushing forward with it to throw a pass. Richard Dent has been tremendous today. Receivers right and left for the Giants. Shotgun formation on a third down. 8 yards to go, just short of the 34-yard line. Sims looks it over, takes the snap. Sims rolls right, looks downfield, buying some time. He throws the right side for McConkey and overshot him, incomplete. McConkey behind the coverage of Gary Fensick down the right side near the 30-yard line. The pass sailed incomplete, and it's fourth down New York.
William Marshall he got out. It looked like I don't know, his leg or something. When he got up, he made a pointed at some Giant player. Maybe someone took a cheap shot at him. He looks a little upset on the sideline right now because I don't know what happened.
He grabbed his left knee when he was down on the ground, too.
Landetta now, 3 punts, a 43-yard average. Here's the snap to Sean Landetta, moves forward, gets the kick away, a spiral sailing toward the far side, bounces across the 30, bounding to the 20, on the roll to the 10. Giants have it covered, and they'll cover it up inside the 5. And they're going to down it at the 3-yard line. So the Bears will start from there, 1st and 10. Terry Kennard downfield waiting for the football.
You've got to field those kicks. You can't allow that to happen right there.
63-yard punt, 1st and 10 for the Chicago Bears. But they start this drive from their 3-yard line with 2:48 left to go, first half of play. Bears 7, Giants nothing on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Thousands of years ago, in the land that is now Wisconsin, no man had yet come to stay. In all likelihood, only an occasional hunter would pass through the forest in search of an elk, or a bear, or perhaps the mastodon. In the land that is now Wisconsin, thousands of years ago, there was no sound, except for the cry of a bird, the howl of the lion, the murmur of softly falling rain. Rain as clean and pure as
1st and 10, Chicago Bears from the 3-yard line. Here's the handoff to Walter Payton, burrowing his way off right guard. He's across the 5 and gets it out to the 7-yard line. Payton stacked up on the play by Curtis McGriff, the defensive left end of the New York Giants. Gain of 4. Payton now 10 carries, 23 yards. They have pretty much had his number, Dick Butkus.
They do. I mean, and the thing about it, the plays that we're running offensively don't really seem, you know, that they're going to really break. The Giants defense, granted, they're playing great, but it just seems like the type of offense or the type of running plays that we are using, we're not trying to fool anybody, and it's like the old cliche, you know, it's got to be won in the trenches, and I think it's a standoff right now.
Here the Giants take a timeout now, stopping the clock with 2:14 left to go in the half, and the Bears are facing a second down and 6 yards to go. Right here, with a break of the action, let's take a 10-second timeout of the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Nova, the brightest new star from Chevrolet. It's the best of both worlds. See it today at your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers.
The Chicago Bears lead the New York Giants by the score of 7-0. We are first half of play with 2:14 left to go in the half. And the Bears now with a second down at 6 yards to go coming up. Well, Jim Hart, you're an offensive whiz, so to speak. You've been in these playoffs before. What do you have to do to get things going offensively against a defense like the Giants? It seems to me to be very well prepared and not really fooled by anything.
Well, I'm sure that Mike Ditka at halftime is going to tell them, just don't panic. Don't worry that things aren't going well right now. Just keep doing the same things that you've been doing. You've got a 7-0 lead at this point, and hopefully we can hang on to that into halftime. And don't change anything. they're the ones who have to change because they're the ones who are behind. So just keep with the game plan. Things haven't worked well. It's obvious that the Giants have made it their point that the thing to do to beat the Bears is to stop Walter Payton. But that hasn't been true this year. We've seen Walter not have very good days as far as total yardage is concerned, and they've still won. So other guys have to come up and pick up the slack. Matt Suey has to come up and gain some good yardage. Jim McMahon has to continue passing the ball as well as he is. And stopping Walter Payton does not necessarily stop the Chicago Bears, and the players have to have confidence in that.
And just don't stop ourselves by a mistake or a fumble, and I think they'll be all right.
McMahon, 7 of 10, 86 yards in the passing department. Bears have 5 first downs, and the New York Giants have just 1. Don't forget to stay with us at halftime. Expert analysis with Bob Thomas and Hub Arkish, along with Chuck Swirsky, to review the first half of action and look ahead to the second half. Running back to the offset I formation. Chicago, quick count on second down. Toss, Payton sweeping right, gets a block from Calvin Thomas and springs forward across the 10 to the 15. He's out to the 18-yard line. Curtis McGriff on the near side made the tackle for the New York Giants. Gain of 11 and a first down for the Chicago Bears. Good execution on that sweep.
Yeah, now that was like the first play that it was well executed, and it looked like Walter could have broke it all away.
You know what helped there is a good block by Willie Galls on this sideline. He didn't knock anybody off the feet, but he shielded someone and allowed Walter to get going.
2 minutes to go in the first half. Bears 7, Giants nothing on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Thousands of years ago, in the land that is now Wisconsin, no man had yet come to stay. In all likelihood, only an occasional hunter would pass through the forest in search of an elk, or a bear, or perhaps the mastodon. In the land that is now Wisconsin, thousands of years ago, there was no sound, except for the cry of a bird, the howl of the lion, the murmur of softly falling rain. Rain as clean and pure as any water man has ever known. At the House of Heilemann, we brew our beer with these priceless waters of the past. At the House of Heilemann, we brew our beer with the pure, natural waters of history. Heilemann's old-style beer, brewed with water from when the earth was pure. G. Heilemann Brewing Company, La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Amico presents the Amico Sports Profile.
We're talking to Olympic diver Dave Halfgainer Gold is now preparing to dive from the 50-meter platform.
Get me down from
Dave,
here.
what's your greatest fear?
Heights.
Amazing. Dave, pet peeves.
Synchronized swimming in chlorine.
Incredible. Dave, are you going for the gold?
The gold pump. Amico Premium Lead-Free.
Quality gasoline. Who taught you how to swim?
I can't swim. I just died.
Of course. Favorite food?
Water chestnut.
Terrific. Show us your new dive.
I call it twist and shout.
Amico, your car knows.
Wayne Larrabee, Jim Hart, and Dick Butkus. 2 minutes left to go. Straight up in the first half of play. Bears are leading 7-0. Chicago on a 1st and 10, 18-yard line to the Bears. Willie Gault split to the left side. Everybody else tight on the line. Dennis McKinnon in the slot left side. Running backs are split. Calvin Thomas, Walter Payton. Now they pull in McKinnon tight on the wing left side. Jim McMahon looking over the Giants offense as he ducks in under Hilgenberg, takes the snap, hands it off to Peyton. Walter picking his way off right tackle, and he's covered up just short of the 20-yard line. Gary Reasons, who's having an outstanding first half of play for the Giant linebacking corps, the man who cut him off. Lawrence Taylor was also there along with Carl Banks, a trio of linebackers on that stop. Gain of 2, second down at 8 yards to go, the ball just short of the 20-yard line stripe.
Elvis Patterson, who they thought was going to be, injured during the week, he comes up. The cornerbacks play real tight on the Bear receivers, and when you're going to try to run that side, you can't get around him, even though you're trying to block him, and that forces the play inside so that the flow from the inside of the linebackers makes the stop. So it's a difficult play, the Bears to run against.
McKinnon left and Gault out to the right side. Reitman in motion to the left hand. A pitch out of Thomas. Sweeping left. Thomas is cut down near the 20-yard line. Kenny Hill, the former Oakland Raider, read it beautifully. 5-year pro out of Yale. And he brings him down near the 20-yard line. Gain of maybe a yard if they get a generous spot. Another timeout taken by the Giants with 66 seconds left to go in the half. And the Bears are facing a 3rd down now and 8 yards to go.
That's another case. The safety man, a strong safety, Kenny Hill, is playing on the line of scrimmage, and he makes the tackle for, no gain or even in the backfield. And their corners are playing up, so I think it's not a good position right now, or field position or time of the game, but I think like an option pass, sweeping Waller and having him throw an option, because these people really commit themselves, defensive backs, I'm speaking of the Giants. So maybe someone can slip through there with an option pass and boomer.
Bears are leading 7-0 with 66 seconds left to go in the first half of the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
At Computerland of Elmhurst, you'll discover 2 important reasons to buy an AT&T personal computer for your small business. The reasons? Today and tomorrow. You see, the AT&T PC6300 is designed to meet all your computer needs today. It offers speed, superior built-in capabilities, plus enhancements for simultaneous voice and data transmission. In addition, AT&T computers are the computers of the future built in. With 7 expansion slots, you can add more power, more speed, and more storage. You'll find the AT&T PCs at Computerland of Elmhurst.
Down.
Wayne Larrabee and Jim Hart and Dick Butkus. I tell you what, this is your first playoff game, too, isn't it?
I know. Does it sound like it?
Boom. I thought somebody else had that term coined.
Banging my head on the thing here.
It is a third down for the Chicago Bears. 8 yards to go, and the Bears are leading by the score of 7-0. 3rd and 8, the guy on the sidelines with the chains wanted to move it to 4th down already. Wait a minute, we're not in New York now, we're in Chicago. They get 3 downs before it's 4th. 66 seconds to go in the half, and the Bears, Giants have taken, 2 timeouts here?
Yes, they have.
To stop the clock in the hopes that they'll get the football back in good field position if they can stop the Bears right here. Willie Galt wide to the left side. Kenny Marjoram comes out to the near side along with Dennis McKinnon. Shotgun formation, Jim McMahon. Long count as he looks over the defense. Jay Hilgenberg on the snap. Marjoram in motion to the left side. Now turns back to the near side. The snap to McMahon, hands it off to Gentry on a delay. Gentry slicing to his left is hit and dropped to the line of scrimmage at the 20-yard line as he tried to bounce to the outside. Andy Hedden made the tackle along with Lawrence Taylor, and once again the Giants were not fooled. It is a 4th down now for the Chicago Bears. 4th down and 8 yards to go. No gain on that play. Boy, the Giants are really well prepared. That tendency you spoke of, Jim Hart, of the Bears running on 3rd down and passing situations and running out of the shotgun, they've been right on that all day.
Well, it's a good conservative thing for the Bears to do at this point, I think. They didn't want to give up the ball, and you're throwing into the wind. There are just a lot of things that are against throwing the ball on 3rd and 8 from your own 20-yard line. So even though you were playing into the defense's hands and perhaps the tendency that you've had, it's still the right thing to do because you're being conservative. You don't want to give the ball up. You don't want to give them any momentum going into halftime.
Well, there's a case right now with this punt team. We don't want to have anything happen like it did in Miami, so they've got to be alert because I don't know. Defensively speaking, I don't know if the Giants would risk going for the block. I imagine they would because they haven't been able to move the ball offensively. So let's say, what the heck? Let's go after it.
They only have one person back, but on the other hand, they're going to get pretty good field position.
Giants have taken all 3 of their timeouts now, so the offense will have to be ready to go when they get on the field, and I imagine they'll go without a huddle for the most part. Maury Buford in punt formation, waits for the snap, back at his 5-yard line. Phil McConkey at the Giant 40-yard line. Giants stand to get good field position. Here is the snap to Buford, moves forward. Giants are coming after it. Buford gets it away, but it's an end-over-end short kick. Takes a Chicago hop across the 45, then bounces for the Giants back to the 46, and the Bears down it right there. So the Giants from the Chicago 46-yard line will put it in play. 26-yard punt by Maury Buford, who had a lot of pressure. He had a lot of white shirts around him on that kick.
Well, look, this is what? Well, this is pretty good field position that they have on the Bear 45-yard line with 51 seconds to go.
They're spotting him, you're right, at the 45-yard line. Giants to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10, New York, trailing 7-0. 51 seconds to go in the first half. Giants are out of timeouts. The snap to Sims, looks downfield, over the middle he goes. He's got his man cutting to his left, George Adams, down the left sideline to the 20, to the 15, and Adams out of bounds near the 14-yard line of the near side. Les Frazier chased him out of bounds. A simple swing pass over the middle, and George Adams made it happen. Cutting to his left down the sidelines, a 31-yard pickup.
I'm wondering about Mike Singletary's knee because that's the second time they took that offensive back and he ran around the right end and came all the way across the field, probably knowing that Mike Singletary has to cover him, and he flat out beat Mike. And Mike looked like he was struggling to catch up. In fact, the guy outran him. So I don't know if Mike's knee is bothering him or what, but they're really putting pressure on Mike.
From the 14-yard line of Chicago on a 1st and 10 to the Giants. Slot to the right side. They set up a wide receiver. Bobby Johnson to the left. Bears in an all-out blitz. Sims rolling right, buying time. Throws the right side of the end zone. It's incomplete. It's headed for McConkey. Coverage provided by Sean Gale, and that pass a bit off the mark, and it looked like Phil McConkey might have lost it looking up into the sun.
I think he did lose it, but it would have been a tough catch for him to stop and turn back over his inside shoulder. And again, looking right into the wind, into the sun, made it a real tough catch for him.
Did that look like a planned rollout to you?
Yes.
No, they've done it a couple times.
It's kind of a naked rollout, too. He doesn't have anybody out there protecting for him. Keeps it well. He's rolling out outside his coverage is what's happening.
A pass thrown behind Phil McConkey. Shotgun formation for Sims once again. 2nd and 10 from the Chicago 14-yard line. Sims barks out the signals, takes the snap again. All right. This time Singletary in the blitz. Sims fires the right side. It's incomplete. Penalty markers all over the field. Sims just let the football go in the general direction down the right sidelines of Phil McConkey. There were quite a few Bears in the vicinity.
Looks like they...
Offsides on the offense.
Illegal procedure against the Giants is the call.
Because I thought he threw that flag around Leslie Frazier. I thought maybe he was holding up the receiver too much.
I thought maybe holding too, Dick. But
There's a false start on the offense, number 60.
Brad Benson.
Please put 5 seconds back on the clock.
That would give 36 seconds to the Giants here in this first half of play.
Let's see if they're going to take it now.
I don't know
if it'd be 3rd and 10, but then if they didn't convert that 3rd down, it'd be a chip shot for a field goal. Of course, none of them are chip shots anymore today.
That's with the way the wind is blowing down there, and it's got to be tough.
Well, they're going to take the penalty, give them the 2nd down over again.
36 seconds left to go in the half. Bears are leading 7-0. Giants now get a 2nd down, and they've got 15 yards to go. The ball now out of the 19-yard line. Lionel Manuel and Phil McConkey both out to the right side. Bobby Johnson is split to the left. Phil Sims ducks in under his center this time. No shotgun. 2nd down call for Sims. Takes the snap, sets up short, pop flies the left side, over the shoulder, catch is made by Bobby Johnson. He's out of bounds inside the 5, near the 3-yard line of Chicago. He's got a 1st and goal. Les Frazier on the coverage, but I tell you what, that was a good, well-executed pass by the quarterback.
Perfectly thrown, no question about it. It's called a fade, and the quarterback just puts it on the outside shoulder and hopes he comes down in bounds. From up here, it didn't look like he came down in bounds, but I guess on the replay, and the official standing right there.
Giants now from the Chicago 3-yard line, looking to tie the score. 31 seconds left to go. Sims has his team up to the line of scrimmage. Receivers deploy to the right and left side. Sims back to throw, pops the left side of the end zone. He got it! Pass is intercepted. Caught out of bounds, apparently, by Les Frazier on the near side. Les Frazier very nearly picked it off. He, in fact, made the catch, but did not get both feet down in bounds. Again, the same type of pattern, that fade pattern to the left side, and I believe Johnson, the intended receiver, once again.
And it was there. If he hangs on to it, it's a touchdown for New York.
What happens, see, they're thrown on the opposite side of Frazier so that, if it's a good, a well-thrown ball, Frazier has to go over the receiver to try to knock it down, and therefore you might get a flag or whatever. It's a good play, and they've done it twice now.
27 seconds left to go in the half. 2nd and goal from the Chicago 3-yard line. Split backfield for the Giants. Double tight ends. Hasselback in motion to the right side. Sims back to throw. Throws the right side of the end zone, and he threw it away out of bounds. Incomplete. Hasselback had not made the turn to look for the football. Sims just got rid of it. Wilbur Marshall was breathing down his back.
He had to throw the ball away. Marshall would have sacked him if he didn't. And Sims did a good thing in throwing it out of the end zone, because if he throws it up for grabs and it's in that sun, anything can happen.
3rd down and goal to go. The football is just inside the Chicago 3-yard line, short of the 2. Bears changing up now in some personnel. The Fridge going to stay in there or not? Apparently he is. Do the Bears have too many men on the field now? We'll have to wait and see. Slot to the left side of the wide receivers. Running backs are split. Third down, goal to go, Giants. Signals being called by Sims. He draws back, pops to the left side of the end zone. Bobby Johnson, it's overthrown, incomplete. Les Frazier had the coverage on the near side. 18 seconds to go, and it's fourth down, Giants. So what amounts to nothing more than an extra point attempt. The Giants will try to get on the board.
Well, you gotta hold your breath on this.
Giants going to the well a little bit too many times there. Les Frazier's not going to let you do that all day long.
They'll spot it down to the 9-yard line, angle to the left side, 19-yard field goal attempt. Here's the snap, the placement made, the kick is up, and it is off the upright, no good.
What?
Hit the upright and bounded out. No good.
All right. Holy smokes, both kickers.
It popped right back out like it hit a wall.
I couldn't tell whether someone blocked it or hit the upright before it hit the upright or what.
It got off all right.
It hit the upright.
Yeah.
It was off. There's no doubt about it.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy, I tell you, this Schubert kid, he's missed now 7 of his last 10, including 4 in a row in postseason. Oh, man.
What a job the defense did, though. Boy, I tell you what.
It hit the left upright and bounded out rather than catching the upright and slicing in. So the Bears catch up big, Frank. 11 seconds left to go in the first half. 7-0. Chicago.
I'm chuckling because I'm watching Mike Ditka on the sideline and watching him jump up and down. I haven't seen him that animated all season long.
Now the Bears will just kill the clock. Giants have no timeouts remaining. 11 seconds left to go. Jim McMahon ducks in under a center. A tight formation. Receivers left and right. McMahon drops to one knee. And that is going to do it for this most unusual first half of play. The Giants and Bears, and it is old-fashioned football, although not 1960s vintage so much, maybe back to the 40s.
Well, maybe 1963 when they didn't throw the ball that often, and the way things are going, it's going to be a low-scoring game.
The Bears only score coming when Sean Landetta whiffed on a punt from his end zone. The ball rolling at the 3 or 4 yard line, scooped up by Sean Gale, who took it into the end zone untouched. That is all the scoring in this first half of play. Kevin Butler added the point after. Butler subsequently missed a pair of field goals and a 19-yard field goal attempt by Eric Schubert off the upright and bounded out. And that is it.
The Giants don't have anything to hang their heads about, though. They're in this ball game. It's just 7-0, and they're in it because they're only down by 7 because of a fluke.
Sims 4 of 13, 70 yards passing. Giants have 3 first downs. Joe Morris, on his first 3 carries, had 20 yards. On 10 carries in the first half, he has 31, so the Bears have found his number for sure as we've moved along here in this first half. McMahon, 7 of 10, 86 yards passing. Willie Galt, 3 catches, 69 yards, had an outstanding first half. And Walter Payton, 12 carries for 36 yards in that first half of play. The Bears had 6 first downs in the first half. The Giants had just 3. Again, at halftime, the score, the Chicago Bears 7, the New York Giants nothing. We'll be back with the second half of today's game in just a few minutes on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
For 68 yards.
Wayne Larrivee with Jim Hart and Dick Butkus. We're back at Soldier Field. Right now, let's pause for station identification on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
The sports writers follow Chicago Bear football coverage on WGN Radio Chicago.
Gentlemen, take a look at some of the statistics the first half of play. Bears 7 first downs, Giants 3. 145 total yards for Chicago, 78 for the Giants. Yards rushing, Giants have 30 net yards rushing, 59 for the Bears. 48 yards passing for the Giants, 86 net yards passing for Chicago. In the second half of play, for someone to break the ice, what has to happen? It looks like both defenses, for the most part, have had the answers.
Well, I think offensively, if the Bears break down or the Giants' offense breaks down, it's apparent that the defense, both defenses, are playing extremely well with maybe the edge to the Bears' defense. So Therefore, the offense of the Bears, we can't afford any turnovers. Grind it out, do whatever you have to do to get the first down, consume the time, and don't leave the Giant offense in a good field position, thereby putting some pressure on our defense like they did at the closing of the first half.
Talk about the kickers, Jim Hart. Both kickers seem to be a little psyched out with the wind currents.
Well, that can happen. Kickers are kind of a strange breed anyway. Bob Thomas will probably disagree with that. But I think, for the most part, they are affected by, superstitions and weather conditions probably more so than anybody else. And maybe rightly so. Maybe they are affected physically more than anyone else. But I think today you're seeing that. Schubert, though, in hitting the crossbar, the upright, what can you say about that? That just happens. But on Kevin Butler's long attempt that he didn't hit well, I think he just pressed on it. He was trying to hit it. He knew he was going against a swirling wind, and he just tried to hit it too hard. And when you do that, you just got to take your normal rhythm. It's just like throwing a pass into the wind. If you try to throw it too hard to accommodate the wind, the ball is not going to go as true as if you just throw it as smoothly as you normally would.
Well, I'll tell you, you take a look at that field goal miss by Butler, and it came off so bad that it looked like somebody had gotten a piece of it. You said to yourself, somebody had to knock this one down because it had no chance whatsoever from the time it left his foot.
Well, just at the last instant when you kick a ball like that, and here I am talking like a kicker, but it's pretty much the same as a passer. The last instant, you think that you have to give it a little bit more oomph, and you hit it just a little bit harder and swing your leg just a little bit faster than you normally would, and that destroys the rhythm. And kicking is rhythm, passing is rhythm, any kind of finesse thing like that is rhythm. And if you destroy that rhythm at all, it's like a golf swing. If you destroy that rhythm in the golf swing, it's not going to go where you want it or as hard and as far as you want it.
So the Chicago Bears and the New York Giants return to do battle here in the second half of this NFC Divisional Playoff game. The winner gets the Los Angeles Rams. Should the Bears win, the Rams come here. Should the Giants emerge victorious, they will travel to Los Angeles, or should I say Anaheim, to play the Rams. Bears will receive to start the second half. Eric Schubert has it on the tee. He'll be kicking from right to left to restart the game. Bears are leading 7-0 as we get set for the second half. First playoff game in Chicago in 22 years.
It's interesting that the Giants took up what apparently is the side with the wind. Looks like the wind was coming out on the south side of the field, and they've taken the wind. The Bears had the option. They, of course, elected to receive, and they'll have the wind in the fourth quarter if it means anything to you.
Schubert has the ball held, and here's his approach to the boot, and we're underway in the second half. An end-over-end kick. Willie Gault camping under it, straight on at the 2. Straight ahead of the 5 to the 10. He to the 15, 20, and burrows his way across the 20 out to the 23-yard line. Carl Banks leading the kick coverage unit for the Giants, along with Robbie Jones. A 21-yard return. First down for the Chicago Bears at the Chicago 23-yard line. So Jim McMahon, who did not have a bad first half of play, at least not statistically.
7 and 10. That's awful good, I think.
Pretty darn good under any weather.
Did you hear that Jim Burke might have a concussion for the Giants? A good nose guard, and he's not in there, so he might not be back for the rest of the game.
Jerome Sally has replaced him in the middle of the Giant defense. High formation Chicago on a first down. McKinnon deployed in motion to the left side. Now turns back the other way. Toss to Payton, sweeping left, makes the turn. 30. He's out to the 35-yard line. Walter Payton on the turn around the left end picked his way at good protection as he made the turn. Leonard Marshall got back to the defensive line to make the tackle on the play for the New York Giants, along with Kenny Hill. 12-yard pickup, first down, Chicago at the 35.
Now that was the second play. They had one in the first half that really looked like it could have went all the way, and this is the second play now. Geez, it looked like the guy on a replay went for his face mask, but he didn't call it.
First down, Chicago from the 35-yard line. Bears territory. Willie Gault out to the left side. Dennis McKinnon comes wide to the near side. Matt Suey and Walter Payton lined up in an I formation behind Jim McMahon. In motion, McKinnon to the left side now for Chicago. Toss Payton. He takes it up the middle. Now cuts back the other way to the right, and he's hit by Kenny Hill across the 35. Brought down. 37-yard line. Gain of 2. Harry Carson supporting from the linebacking core. Second down, 8 yards to go, Chicago Bears. Just the start of things, third period, 7-0. Bears on top of the Giants.
See, the Giants pursue well on defense also, and Waller tried to do that time. Was supposed to go a little bit further outside, maybe off the tackle play, and Waller thought he'd try to cut back up, but the offside pursuit by the Giant defense put a stop to it.
Guys, did I miss something? Lawrence Taylor's not in there.
Is he?
Byron Hunt is playing for Lawrence Taylor.
Galt to the left side, to the right side, Dennis McKinnon. They load up the backfield. Now Moorhead in the fullback position, and they run out of that formation. On the handoff to Payton off left tackle, and Payton gets very little. Maybe out to the 38 or 39-yard line, so a yard or two on the pickup. Give him a gain of 2. Jerome Sally made the stop on the play for the Giants. Is that Lawrence Taylor coming back in here?
Yes,
he's back in. He was in earlier, I thought. For one play, he may have gone out for a play or two.
Now they take out Carson and Reasons and another linebacker. Well, they're going to go with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defensive backs. 2, 4. I don't know. They got 11 guys out there. What's the difference?
Third down and 6 yards to go now for the Bears. Slot left to the slot right. Shotgun formation. McMahon takes the snap. The rush is on. McMahon steps up, throws the
wide open.
Gentry wide open. Right sideline, 40, 35, 30. He's to the 20, 15, 10, and he's out of bounds. Apparently they're going to mark him out of bounds at the 21-yard line.
Whatever it was, how many guys they had on defense, they didn't have enough because he was wide open. I don't know how he did it.
He got lost in the shuffle. He came in motion to this near sideline.
All right.
And everybody else on this side went across field to the far sideline. And Dennis Gentry got lost. Whoever was supposed to cover him got lost. He lost behind the people going across field. And he was wide open on this side.
Herb Welch forced him out of bounds after a 40-yard pickup. He kept going down the sideline into the end zone, but he had stepped out of the 21-yard line. The Bears in Giants territory on a big play.
That was a breakdown in coverage, what it was.
Galt out to the left side. McKinnon split to the right. Emery Moorhead tight end right side. Suey and Payton in a pro set formation. Now they move Payton to the wing left side. Jim McMahon takes the snap, sets up short, jump pass right side. McKinnon, and he dropped it incomplete. Near the 13-yard line, underneath the coverage of Terry Kennard.
There's that audible I talked about in the first half, where I thought that the Bears would finally come to when they put another linebacker down, have 5 men rushing. It's got to be a pass. In fact, they had 5 defensive linemen in there. And it's got to be a blitz situation. They're trying to isolate the offensive lineman one-on-one, and it's a perfect situation for a pass, and that's what Jimmy audible to there.
Galt wide left, McKinnon wide right. Emery Moorhead tight end right side, Payton the lone setback. Signals are being called. Jim McMahon looks it over. Dennis McKinnon in the slot makes that Kenny Marjoram in the slot left side, and McMahon rolling left under pressure. Now buys some time, throws the middle of the end zone. Incomplete intended for Kenny Marjoram. Pass a bit overthrown. Marjoram made a diving attempt. Perry Williams on the coverage. And it leaves a third down and 10 yards to go coming up for the Bears.
Kenny Marjoram did come open, wide open. And Jimmy running to his left, it makes a tough throw. I'm not trying to excuse him, but it makes for a tough throw when you've got your momentum running to the left and you've got to throw the ball back across your body. It has a tendency to float a little bit, and the ball did fly too high, and Kenny made his usual diving effort to catch the ball, but couldn't come up with it. And, of course, Jim McMahon making his Tarzan motions on his head, saying, "You dummy."
Slot to the left side. Willie Galt, Dennis Gentry. Marjoram and McKinnon both out to the right. Third down and 10 yards to go from the Giant 21-yard line. Gentry deployed in motion to the near side. Shotgun formation, the snap to McMahon. Has some time, now scrambling around. Throws the right side, overshot everybody, incomplete to the near sidelines. Pass appeared to be in the general direction of Dennis McKinnon at the 5-yard line of the Giants. Elvis Patterson had the coverage here on the near sideline.
Really looked like he was indecisive about who to go to, and the ball kind of like floated up and over, whatever you call it.
I think he threw it away, Dick. I think he really do.
Yeah, like I said, they were all covered, and he threw it right out of bounds. Good play, Jim.
They'll spot this field goal attempt down to the 28-yard line. 38-yard field goal attempt. Steve Fuller will hold. Butler has missed twice already today. Signals are being called. Fuller with the arm extended. Here's the snap. The placement by Fuller. The kick by Butler. End over end. Sails to the uprights, and it is no good as he again hooked it to the left side. So the Giants will take over, and the Bears cling to their 7-0 lead. And we have 12-11 left to go. Third period of play on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
When it comes to personal copiers, only Canon gives you such a big choice. Just ask Willie Gulp, NFL star and spokesman for Ambassador Office Equipment. In addition to being incredibly small and affordable, Canon PC copiers let you copy in your choice of 6 colors. With Canon's exclusive cartridge system, you can copy in black and brown, blue and light blue, red and green. And what's more, this cartridge system makes these copiers virtually service-free. That's because each PC cartridge contains everything that can run out or wear out on a copier. Good for about 2,000 beautiful copies, the PC cartridge is simple to replace. And now, Canon has 5 great PC copiers to choose from, including the brand new PC-24. Its unique stack sheet feeding system will let you make multiple copies on any size paper, from business cards to legal. Call Ambassador Office Equipment, 228-5700. That's 228-5700.
I just flew 20,000 miles on your airline.
Congratulations, sir. Have a nice day.
I want a free trip.
You qualify for a first-class upgrade.
Read my lips. Free trip.
If you purchase a ticket...
20,000 miles, I've earned a free trip.
We'll let your wife fly free.
I'll wear a dress.
He should have flown Republic Airlines. Republic awards a free trip after 20,000 miles, the lowest mileage requirement of any major airline's frequent flyer program.
We make you feel like flying.
Wayne Lurthy with Jim Hart and Dick Butkus. It'll be the Giants first and 10 on their initial possession offensively of the second half of play. The Bears leading 7-0. 21-yard line is the spot of the ball in Giants territory.
See those missed field goals, those scoring opportunities really puts the pressure on defense because, one scorer and the Giants are back in the game. Now, we've given up a possible 9 points, so the pressure is really on the defense.
Giants with the wide receivers to the right and left sides. Johnson out to the left side. And here's the handoff. Joe Morris hit in the backfield and brought down near the line of scrimmage. Sweeping in from his defensive end position, Richard Dent, who has been awesome today. Nothing short of awesome today. No gain, maybe a loss of a yard. They're going to mark it as a loss of 1.
What I think, Wayne, is when Richard Dent is so wide on that weak side that he always takes an outside charge. And this time, they figured he'd do the same thing, and it was everybody flowed the other way, tried to run inside him, but Richard just made a great play.
Bill McConkey to the left side. Lionel Manuel wide to the right. Carpenter at that backfield now with George Adams. They are split behind the quarterback, Bill Sims, who takes the snap, drops back to throw. He wings it out of the right side, overshot his intended receiver, incomplete. Lionel Manuel, the intended receiver, being flanked by Mike Richardson downfield. They came with a blitz with Dave Dorson that time.
They did. They had all the linebackers in there, too.
Right, that was a 46 defense again. And talking to Dick Lynch, who was on the Giant broadcast team, he thought that the Giants were ready for that 46. But he did make one comment. He said, "We've seen the 46 a bunch by the Jets and some other teams." And before I could say it, he said, "But we've not seen it played like the Bears before."
Oh yeah.
Third down and 11 from the Giants 20-yard line. Shotgun formation for Phil Sims. Johnson left, Manuel wide right, McConkey in the slot left side. Sims barking out the signals, gets the snap, the rush is on. Sims under siege, and down he goes. Third sack of the afternoon. They threw everything at him. Singletary, Otis Wilson, Dan Hampton, Richard Dent, Steve McMichael.
The thing about it, Wayne, Otis Wilson didn't know what side to line up on, and Wilbur Marshall told him, get on the other side. So he went on the other side. Geez, when you're red dogging, you should know where to go.
How about the rookie telling the old pro,
Loss of 11 on the play. It is 4th down and a bunch. 4th down and 21 yards to go. The ball back on the 10-yard line. Landetta from the end zone. Here's the snap. Moves forward and pops it. An end-over-end kick. This is a returnable kick. Ortego from the 50 to the 45. Makes the head fake inside the 45 and is brought down near the 41-yard line of the Giants. First down, Chicago Bears coming up. Excellent field position. In to make the tackle, the center, Bart Oates. With a break in the action, the Bears lead the Giants 7-0. Let's take this 10-second timeout of the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Motorists, if you have a problem, Amoco Motor Club emergency vehicles will be located on McFetridge Drive, north side of Soldier Field, the other on Waldron Drive on the south side.
First down now for the Chicago Bears from the 41-yard line of the Giants. Receivers draped to the left and right sides now. An I formation backfield for Chicago. Peyton the tail of the tandem. Suey is the fullback. Jim McMahon looks over the defense. In motion, McKinnon to the near side. Faking the pitch to Peyton. The handoff to Suey. Furrows his way off untackled. He's got meaningful yardage inside the 40 to the 35 and down to the 34-yard line of the Giants. An Kenny Hill got over there to wrap him up from the secondary of the Giants. Harry Carson to the linebacking core, gain of 7. Second down to 3.
Giants normally have been playing those sweeps fairly well, and what it was like a fake pitch, and then give it to Suey, cutting in offside right off about the tackle.
Byron Hunt is in there again. First and second down here for the Giants.
Willie Galt wide left. McKinnon split to the right side. Payton and Suey in a pro set formation backfield. McMahon hands it off to Suey. He's got the hot hand. A big hold up the middle. Suey inside the 30 down to the 25. Got a Chicago first down.
All right.
Kenny Hill, the safety, once again in on that tackle along with Harry Carson. Gain of 9. Matt Suey now. 4 carries, 27 yards, and another Chicago first down.
See, it's difficult, but as far as both defenses go, to maintain the level that they've been playing for, the first half and up till 9 minutes here in the third quarter. So maybe they're starting to bend a little bit, but I think the offensive line of the Bears are starting to do a good job.
7-0 Bears, third period of play. McMahon asks the crowd for some quiet, and they oblige. Running backs are split, pro set formation, receivers left and right. Hand off Suey, up the middle he goes. Suey this time caught from behind by Kenny Hill and pulled down. Hill read it beautifully. As they went to the well once too many. 3 straight carries by Matt Suey. Gain of about 2 yards. Second down and 8 coming up now. The football resting near the 23-yard line.
That's a good opportunity for Jimmy to audible when you see Kenny Hill, the strong safety, right on the line of scrimmage. You pretty much know that he's not going to go into coverage from there. So you've got to figure that more than 50% of the time he's going to be blitzing, so why not throw it? One-on-one coverage in the secondary.
Willie Galt split left. Dennis McKinnon out to the right side. Second down, 8 yards to go. Chicago, 23-yard line of the Giants. Running backs are split in a pro set formation, and Jim McMahon, a long count once again, drops back to throw. The blitz is on. McMahon lets it go over the left side of the end zone, and the pass is incomplete. Willie Galt, the intended receiver, bumped to the floor by Perry Williams, but no penalty markers down.
See, the Giants really have confidence in playing that bump and run by both outside cornerbacks. That's why I think something like a little trickery or an option pass by Waller, because to maybe even to the tight end, because the cornerbacks, they just turn their backs and lock into the receiver. They don't even look for the ball. And looking at the replay, this guy's just staying with Willie all the way to the end, and then maybe turns his head late. But they really have confidence in that one-on-one business on the corners.
McMahon, 8 of 15, 126 yards, facing a third down, 8 yards to go. Giants 23-yard line. Shotgun formation for the Bears. Slot left and slot right with the wide receivers. Gentry comes in motion to the near side. Jumping on the line. The snap to McMahon. He pop flies the right side of the end zone for McMahon. Touchdown! Great catch for the touchdown! Great catch! Made the catch over Elvis Patterson. A penalty marker is down. I'm almost certain it's for offsides against the Giants. Let's see what the indication is from the official. It looked like somebody from the Giants stepped into the neutral zone. That is the call. Touchdown, Chicago.
All right, that's what you got to do when you get down there and score, man. That's it. What a catch, huh? And just like you were saying, it seemed like even on that play, the defender was right on McKinnon, and he had to turn around, jump up, and he really, stole it from the defensive player.
That was Dennis Gentry that caught it, wasn't it?
Dennis McKinnon.
McKinnon. What did I say? I'm all jacked up here, Watch the cord here.
You just pulled my thing off.
Extra point attempt now by Kevin Butler. Steve Fuller, the holder. 5 plays, 41 yards, 2:14 off the clock. Here's the snap. Placement made. Kick is up. It is good. And the Bears move out to a 14-0 lead over the New York Giants with 8 minutes and 48 seconds left to go. Third period of play on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
WGN's exclusive sports action doesn't end with the Bears. This week's highlights will also include some great college hoops. Thursday at 8, it's DePaul against Pepperdine. And next Saturday at 3, the Blue Demons against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And believe it or not, we'll be getting ready for spring training in a couple of weeks as well. Cubs coverage begins February 2nd with a new feature, Harry Carey's Hot Stove League. They don't call WGN America's #1 sports station for nothing.
Play so close that it's like Darius.
Wayne Larrabee and Jim Hart, Dick Butkus were back at Soldier Field. Dennis McKinnon on a sensational grab had to reach around Elvis Patterson to make that catch as he came back for the football.
Well, what they do, Wayne, both cornermen, was it Perry Patterson and Williams?
Yeah.
They really, what they call, hound the offensive receivers. And they just turn their back to the offensive quarterback and just say, okay, I dare you to try to catch it with me around. And that's great. if you can't do anything about it, if you don't turn around. But what McKinnon did was jump around and caught it right behind even Patterson. So he really went after it. That was a great play.
41 yards in 5 plays. Bears got good field position supplied to them by their defense. Here's a squib kick bounding to an up back at the 25-yard line. Don Hasselbeck on the carry across the 30, cutting toward the middle across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Thomas Sanders got over to make the stop along with Dennis Gentry. Wilbur Marshall was also there, 17-yard return. First down Giants. They get it in good field position. Just a low liner of a kick that Butler wanted to bounce around out there, and Hasselbeck made the clean pickup.
The ball ends up going like a knuckleball. It didn't have any spin on it at all.
So the Giants trailing 14-0, take over at a first down. 42-yard line, New York territory. I formation backfield, receivers right and left. Manuel in motion to the near side, and back to throw Sims with time. Airs it out right wing. He hits his man, but nailed immediately on the play as the running back Joe Morris by the outside linebacker Otis Wilson to the 46-yard line. A gain of 4. Second down at 6 yards to go coming up.
Good offensive, a good, tackle in the open field because, that's what the Bears have to do. And they, if it wasn't for the first three offensive plays, boy, they've been sharp ever since.
From the 46-yard line, the Giants on a second down and 6 yards to go. Wide receiver to the right and left side. Quick count. Sims backpedals. Sims threads it over the middle, and it's dropped by the tight end Bavaro in a diving attempt at the 42 of Chicago. Wilbur Marshall flying around in the neighborhood, and Bavaro could not latch on as he made a lunging attempt. And Bavaro, 4th-round draft pick, has come in and stepped in for Zeke Mowat, a guy they had all-pro hopes for, who went down to the severe knee injury in training camp. Bavaro came on out of Notre Dame. A rookie caught 37 passes this year. Caught 5 passes last week. That time couldn't hang on, and thus leads the team with a third down. 6 yards to go from the 46-yard line. Receivers straight to the right and left side. Sims barking out the signals in the shotgun formation. Here's the snap. Sims scans the secondary. Floats the left side. Pass is incomplete. He led his wide receiver, Phil McConkey, too much. The ball wobbled toward the sidelines near the 35, and McConkey could not catch up. Les Frazier on the coverage. Steve McMichael provided some last-second pass rush pressure on the quarterback, Phil Sims. And again, the Giants are forced to punt.
Steve McMichael kind of limping off the field. He might have re-entered that knee.
Keith Orr to go back in single safety. Waits for this kick at his 10-yard line. Sean Landetta in punt formation. 42.9-yard average, a 36-yard net. Moves forward, gets his kick away. Beautiful spiral. High kick. Or to go from the 8-yard line. Makes the catch and is decked immediately on the play. Terry Kennard right there to meet him. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line where it'll be a first down for Chicago. So the Bears start deep in their own territory. 46-yard punt by Landetta. And excellent coverage by the Giants. 7:43 to go. Third period of play. Bears 14, Giants nothing on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Wayne, I got to tell you something. Let's be perfectly honest now. I mean, people are talking about the Bears, and people are talking about the refrigerator.
That's all you hear about these days. This guy, the refrigerator. He seems to be on everybody's mind.
Absolutely. Bear fans really have seemed to be taken to this person.
Well, it's no wonder, Chuck. The refrigerator's having a terrific season.
And as the Bears continue their march to the Super Bowl, Wayne, the refrigerator, he is bound to see more and more action.
Well, you got that right. Because, when the Bears go to the refrigerator, their fans head to the refrigerator for America's best brewed premium beer. Heileman's Old Style.
Old Style is the great Wisconsin beer that's still twice brewed. Or Croissant, that slow, old-world method that's the most natural way to brew beer, and Wayne, it's also the most expensive.
And, they get back to the basics. Heileman's Old Style is brewed with the purest, most perfect artesian spring water.
That's Heileman's Old Style, from the G. Heileman Brewing Company, La Crosse, Wisconsin.
You'll find it in the refrigerator. Amico presents the Amico Sports Profile.
We're here with Chainsaw Esposito, living sports legend Chainsaw. Who are your idols?
FDR, JFK, and Francois Truffaut.
Fascinating favorite hobbies?
Needlepoint, canasta, and Amico Premium Lead-Free Gasoline.
Interesting. How do you keep fit?
Hopscotch.
Amazing favorite color?
Amico Premium Lead-Free Gasoline.
Why's that?
It's great gasoline, ma'am.
Of course. Favorite song?
Green Sleeves.
And what's in the future for Chainsaw?
I want to go where no player on my team has ever gone before. The end zone.
Amico, your car knows.
Wayne Larrabee, Jim Hart, and Dick Butkus at Soldier Field in Chicago. We have 7:43 left to go. Third period of play. Bears are now leading the Giants by the score of 14-0. But the Bears start this drive at their own 7-yard line. Willie Galt wide to the left side. Dennis McKinnon wide right. Walter Payton lined up in the I formation as the tail of the tandem behind Matt Suey. And McMahon ducks in under a center, hands it off to Suey, burrows his way in quick fashion up the middle and gets out to the 10-yard line. Harry Carson, the All-Pro, 10-year pro out of South Carolina State, made the stop of the play. Gain of quick 4 yards, and they mark it out to the 11-yard line. Second down at 6 coming up. I'll tell you, this Suey has had the hot hand here in the second half. 6 carries, 33 yards in the ball game. 22 yards in the second half of play on 4 carries. Slot to the left side of the wide receivers on a second down. 6 yards to go call for Jim McMahon from his 11-yard line. Hands it off to Payton, the tail of the tandem. Payton first through up the middle. Payton across the 15 to the 20-yard line. Harry Carson in the linebacking court. Terry Kennard in the secondary. Make the stop. First down, Chicago Bears. 9-yard pickup, Walter Payton.
Once again, it looked like the play was, designed to go outside, and boom, he cut it up.
It looked like it was stopped. It looked like it came bursting through a pile. He did a Joe Morris imitation on that one.
Joe Morris has been pretty quiet here in the second half.
He has. Outside of that first drive, he's been very quiet. Willie Galt wide right. McKinnon left on first down. Toss Payton, sweep right. Has some blocking. Makes the turn. Cuts back 20. Breaks the tackle. 25. And he's out to the 27-yard line. Carl Banks made the stop on the play. Tom Thayer getting up rather slowly. 8-yard gain on that play. The Bears face a second down at 2 yards to go coming up. Walter Payton now 17 carries, 71 yards. They mark the football to the 28-yard line.
It's good to see the Bears offense getting that 4, 5, 6, 7 yards on first down here, deep in our own territory. Really puts more pressure on the defense of the Giants as if they got enough already.
Good block by Matt Suey on Carl Banks. Banks ended up making the tackle, but Matt's block allowed Walter to gain the yardage.
Galt and McKinnon both out to the left side. Suey on the wing right side. Payton the lone setback. Second down at 2 yards to go. Now Suey deployed in motion to the near sideline. Hand off Walter. Cuts back toward the middle. He's across the 30. Got a first down. Out to the 32-yard line. Harry Carson again in the middle of that Giants defense, getting a lot of traffic here in the second half. Lawrence Taylor was also there on the tackle. Another first down for the Chicago Bears. The break of the action. Let's take a 10-second timeout of the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Help reduce your electric bills and extend the life of light bulbs with the Master Electrician full-range rotary dimmer. It's just $3.59 at participating True Value hardware stores.
Pickup of 5 on the previous play. Payton 18 carries, 76 yards. Bears on a first down, 32-yard line. Chicago territory. Chicago leading 14-0 with third period of play. Out of the I formation backfield, McMahon looks over the defense. Now the toss to Payton, sweeping right. He cuts it back inside, and Payton this time nabbed by Harry Carson. Carson with Carl Banks helping out of the linebacking core got back to the line of scrimmage and no farther. Second down at 10 yards to go coming up for the Bears.
What they're doing on defense, Wayne, is they're putting up Henry Carson and Reasons on the line of scrimmage, and then they have Lawrence Taylor playing like middle linebacker, so he can probably utilize his great pursuit both ways. And here Carson's making the stop coming off a three-point stance.
Galt and McKinnon both split to the left side. Emery Moorhead is the tight end right side. Payton and Suey in the I formation backfield, second and 10. McMahon the give to Payton. He's hit in the backfield, tries to struggle forward and is brought down. George Martin made the initial penetration, and he's the man who got the biggest chunk of Walter Payton. Lawrence Taylor covered up later on the play along with Carl Banks. And Walter may have struggled for a yard, and as they spot the football, no gain.
Dick, you'd been talking about running the play-action pass or the run pass with Walter Payton on the first down play before. If they had run it, Willie Galt ran right by Perry Williams on this side.
See, they figure the Bears are going to be running the ball, so they've got that different type defense, so they're playing it different. Now they're back to normal.
Shotgun formation on third and 10. Marjoram deployed in motion to the left side. Snap to Jim McMahon. He looks to the air. The rush is on. He heaves the left sideline, and the pass is through the hands of Payton, incomplete, who almost made a spinning grab on the far sideline. He was well covered by Lawrence Taylor. Pass thrown a bit behind Payton, who turned around and tried to haul it in, but couldn't quite hang on near the midfield marker, so it's fourth down.
Maybe what's going to have to happen offensively is when the Giants use that particular defense where they put Reasons and Carson on the line of scrimmage, they might have to go to the pass a little bit more.
Maury Buford out in punt formation, ranked 6th overall to the NFC this year. Averaged 42.2 yards per punt. Bill McConkey back in single safety for the Giants. McConkey at the 30-yard line of New York. Fourth down at 10 yards to go, Bears. Line of scrimmage near the 33-yard line. Jay Hilgenberg on the deep snap. Long count. Here it is, right on the button. And moving forward and getting the kick away end over end. A short kick, but it takes a Chicago hop across the 40. Bears have it covered pretty well.
Let it go.
And this one going to roll down inside the 35 and be down near the 32-yard line. So Butler got an end over end turn on it. Bears had it pretty well covered. It hit on the 40 and bounded to a stop near the 32-yard line. Cliff Thrift picked it up right there. 35-yard punt. Giants will start from their 32-yard line on a 1st and 10. 3:21 left to go. Third period of play. Bears leading 14-0 over the Giants on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Recently, in the rich and bountiful soil of Illinois, has come word of a new and unusual plant that could yield a harvest of untold riches for its owners, for its people. What is the name of this unique species of plant? Some call it Diamond Star. But for the thousands who will work and grow here, it is known by a simpler name, the Chrysler Mitsubishi plant. And it's indigenous to only one place on Earth, Illinois. Perhaps you own a thriving business, large or small, and are searching for growth and commitment, for training and financial assistance. If so, we invite you to look at the state Chrysler Mitsubishi found fertile enough to plant roots in. The thriving and nurturing business climate of Illinois.
Call the Illinois Department of Commerce and Community Affairs, 1-800-252-2923.
Today, Chevrolet is making it fun with an international auto show.
Take a look, get the feel. See the world from behind the wheel. Come and be part of it all.
Today, Chevrolet introduces your next small car. It's designed for high quality, high affordability, and fun. This year, more than 750,000 Americans will buy a small car at your Chevy dealer's International Auto Show. Shouldn't you?
Soldier Field in Chicago. Wayne Larrabee with Dick Butkus and Jim Hart. The Bears are leading 14-0. We have 3:21 left to go. Third period of play. The Giants will put it in play. 1st and 10 from their 32-yard line.
Interesting stat here, Wayne. In rushing department, Chicago 33 attempts for 119 yards, and New York 11 attempts for only 29 yards.
And the Giants in a position where they're going to have to throw the football now, trailing 14-0 second half. Manuel wide to the right side. Johnson split to the left. Manuel a motion to the near side. And Sims back to throw. Looks to the air. Wings it right. He's got Carpenter out of the backfield who races out of bounds. Across the 35, near the 37-yard line. Gain of 5 on that play. Chased out of bounds by Otis Wilson, the outside linebacker, the All-Pro from Louisville. Gain of 5. Second down and 5 yards to go coming up for the Giants.
I would think the Giants would have to throw more to their backs or even their tight end because, he really can't afford to have the luxury of a lot of time back there. So the quick passes should be what they should use to move up the field, or at least I think they would.
McConkey right, Manuel left. On a 2nd down and 5 call for Sims. He backpedals. The rush is on. Sims hit by Richard Dent, and he's brought down. Dent came straight up the middle. He looped inside and makes the 4th sack of the day for the Chicago defense, and they bring down Phil Sims inside the 30, near the 27.
Is he having an all-pro day or what?
Oh, yeah. Well, he did this. This is the play he did in the first half, too. He loops around and comes up the middle, and the offensive line of the Giants aren't making the adjustment. I mean, the tackle comes back, sets up, and looks for Dent, and he just flat out missed him.
Well, what happened, they're supposed to zone. That the left guard is supposed to drop off and pick off the inside rusher, but he didn't do that.
Loss of 9 on the play.
Well, when you have the refrigerator on you can't see around it.
Third down and about 14 yards to go for the Giants, near the 27-yard line. Here's the snap to Sims. All-out blitz. Sims waits in the pocket, throws it over the middle, and it is incomplete. Intended for Phil McConkey. The pass overthrown. Sean Gale in defense downfield for the Bears. And again, Phil Sims had a lot of pressure.
Well, and Wayne, he had both backs. He kept both backs in, so he had maximum protection. And the pass was, a fairly long pass, but he just missed it. Overthrew him.
Landeta 7 punts, a 38.2-yard average. I think Phil Sims felt the pressure more than he really had.
I think he does, too. Sure. Yeah.
Landeta hangs up a high kick. Ortego from the 31, starting to his left, and then dives forward across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 5-yard return. Kenny Hill and George Adams on the coverage for the New York Giants. First down, Chicago Bears from the 36-yard line. 42-yard punt, 5-yard return.
That's one thing the Giants have been doing, really covering the punts very well. I don't know how they all get down there, but Ortego just has nowhere to go.
2.5 minutes left to go. Third period, 14-0. Bears over the Giants on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Even the finest interior paint needs the right tools to make it look its best. Hi, Pat Summerall to suggest starting at True Value Hardware stores for top quality paint and painting accessories. Like smooth rollers from Easy Painter. A 9-inch roller frame is just 99 cents, and it holds most standard size covers for fast, even painting. After you've painted the large areas, turn to the trim with the Easy Painter 3-inch roller, only $1.88, complete with cover. And True Value Hardware stores can help you apply paint or varnish smoothly with True Test brushes made of top-quality Orel polyester. Their bristles are tapered so paint glides on without brush marks. Choose the 2 or 3-inch size for just $1.99 each. It takes more than good paint to make a painting job look good. So start with fine brushes and rollers from participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers. And while you're there, be sure to pick up an application for a True Value charge card. Good at thousands of participating True Value Hardware stores nationwide. Ask your dealer for details. And tell them Pat Summerall sent you.
WGN's exclusive sports action doesn't end with the Bears. This week's highlights will also include some great college hoops. Thursday at 8, it's DePaul against Pepperdine. And next Saturday at 3, the Blue Demons against the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And believe it or not, we'll be getting ready for spring training in a couple of weeks as well. Cubs coverage begins February 2nd with a new feature, Harry Carey's Hot Stove League. They don't call WGN America's #1 sports station for nothing.
Back at Soldier Field, the Giants on third down conversions are 0 for 9. Chicago is 5 of 12. Defenses have ruled the day, but the Bears have 14 points. The Giants have nothing. 2.5 minutes to go, third period of play. Bears at a 1st and 10. The football just across the 35 at the 36-yard line. Calvin Thomas, Walter Payton are the running backs. They are split behind Jim McMahon. Ball to the right side. McKinnon now deployed in motion from left to right across the line. And the handoff to Payton, sweeping left. Payton is hit by Leonard Marshall, gets by Marshall, then is wrapped up and shoved out of bounds. Hard by Carl Banks, short of the line of scrimmage by about 2 yards. They mark it back near the 34-yard line, a loss of 2. Second down and 12 yards to go now, coming up for the Chicago Bears. This Giants defense, I don't know, fellas. I think it's the best we've seen outside of Chicago this year.
We're number 2 in the league.
Yeah, I mean, that ranking's no fluke, is it? They are tough. Boy, anything lateral, you know, most teams have been running at Lawrence Taylor and Harry Carson, and when you run at them, you don't allow them to use their greatest asset, and that's pursuit.
Well, everybody talks about them 2 people, but they've got a couple down linemen that aren't too shabby.
Second down and 12 off the play action. McMahon looks to the air, over the middle. Right, go Tbilisi. Down the left sideline to the 40, to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, clipped from behind and brought down. Near the 19-yard line. Kenny Hill on a touchdown-saving tackle. 46-yard pass play. First down, Bears.
You know, it had to be a matter of time the way the cornerbacks play so tight on our outside receivers. Got to go to our tight end or back, and he just flat out, boy, he beat somebody. He was wide open.
Wow, that's amazing. From the 20-yard line is where they spot the football. It's first down, Chicago Bears.
And they also came with a safety blitz also from a corner. The guy from the farthest part of the field tried to red dog on him. Oh, boy.
Giants have been doing that. They've been blitzing Perry Williams, their cornerback.
Well, that's why they're doing such a good job stopping our sweeps.
Now first down from the 20-yard line. Running backs are split wide. Bears in enemy territory. Goes to the left side, and McKinnon wide right. McMahon back to throw. Pitches the right side. McKinnon to the 5 down. Over right. Second touchdown of the day for Dennis McKinnon. 20-0, Chicago Bears.
Looked like that might have been a blitz again. Jim McMahon moved to his right a little bit, a little rolling pocket, a little roll out to the right, and Dennis McKinnon did nothing really, any great shakes, just kind of angled to the inside and got in between. He got in the hole and then split the 2 defenders.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Lawrence Taylor tried to come up through the middle, and that was that odd man line. So you got to... All right, I don't know. I forget what I was going to say. The heck with it.
3 plays, 64 yards. Kevin Butler for the point after Steve Fuller, the holder. Here's the snap, a high snap. Fuller gets it down, and Butler puts it through the upright successfully.
All right.
And the Bears with 37 seconds left to go, third period, have moved on top of the Giants, 21-0.
legit 21.
I will tell
Should
you
be
this.
30, but
This week, Mike Ditka was saying that Dennis McKinnon had his best week of practice, his first complete week of practice since training camp down in the Atlanta Falcons practice facility on the grass, and that his knees and his health was better than it had been since training camp. And what we are seeing is the same type of passing game we saw early in the
year. You're right.
And it's the first time we've seen it in at least 8 weeks. The break of the action, let's take a 10-second timeout on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Nothing goes with the Bears like the Browns. Chicken, that is. To feed parties with lots of hungry fans, call Brown's Chicken Catering at 4 BROWNS.
It looked like, Wayne, what they were trying to do. Patterson, was playing really, really tight the whole day. This time he had him tight for a couple steps and then took the outside. And I think what he was hoping that Kennard would come over from the free safety position. He had inside help, no question. But Jimmy threw the ball to, before Kennard could get there.
Lee Roussan back deep for the Giants to receive this kick.
I'll tell you what, you got to hand it to the Giants. They're doing some things that really are trying, they're making on-the-spot, almost immediate adjustments to try to stop the Bears. With, red dogging corner linebackers and safeties. They're doing a good job, but they're just not, executing as well.
Butler hooks the kick to McConkey across the 20 to the 30, 35, and McConkey out to the 39-yard line is covered up as he takes it toward the middle. That was a kick that just kind of hooked short, and McConkey on the run made the catch near the 21-yard line. Anderson downfield in coverage for the Bears special teams. 15-yard return. The Giants will start this drive from their 39-yard line.
Don't relax now, defense. Let's go.
Joe Morris leaves the lineup for the Giants now. Passing situation just about all the time for Phil Simms and company. Bobby Johnson and Lionel Manuel both out to the left side. Carpenter and Adams the backfield. And Simms looks to deal, pops the right side for Valero, and he dropped it incomplete in the flat on the right side. He had Mike Singletary breathing down his shirt from behind. So it is a second down and 10 yards to go. Simms now 6 of 20 for 81 yards. Pass fell incomplete at the 43.
Short passes. I think that's what they're going to try to do because
he's in tight pockets every time.
Right, and don't leave yourself 3rd and 10 or 9 where everybody will know that you've got to go for a long
pass. What, Dick, even when he gets protection, he's in a very tight pocket. Receivers right and left, 2nd and 10. Carpenter in motion to the near side. Simms takes, hands it off to Joe Morris, throwing his way off left tackle. He is bulldogged down. William Perry got over to make the hit defensively that brought a stop to the forward motion. And the Bears, keying on little Joe Morris, have really erased Morris as a threat since the first drive of the game.
Wayne, you inferred a little bit ago about the quarterback, Phil Simms, and feeling the pressure when it's not there. And I think that's exactly what's happening. He's had so much pressure all day that when he does get some time to throw, he reverts back to feeling the pressure and throws when he doesn't have to.
Gain of 3 on that previous play. When we resume, the Giants will face a 3rd down and 7. We have completed 3 quarters in Chicago. Bears 21, Giants nothing on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Think of a plan which provides guaranteed safety of principal, a high current 11% interest rate, complete liquidity, and one which will increase in value and has no front-end loads, and a 100% money-back guarantee. The plan also avoids probate with a named beneficiary and is not subject to income tax to survivors upon your death and provides a substantial tax-free death benefit. You've described Equity 2, an innovative single-premium excess interest life insurance program from the Pioneer Life Insurance Company of Illinois. Learn more by calling 312-357-1633. If you open an Equity 2 account now, your tax advantages remain intact, so you must act quickly. To find out more about the Equity 2 tax-free, safe, 11% return, contact Intrax Financial Group. 24 hours a day, that's 7 days a week, at 312-357-1633. That's 312-357-1633. We know you know the game. It's Collins we're trying to help. So bear with us, Bear fans. Time for another Jargon Alert brought to you by Old Style. And today's buzzword is split end. No, it's not something undesirable on your head. It's an offensive player who lines up between the interior lineman and the wide receiver. A split end is usually a guy with good speed and the ability to find an opening in the opponent's secondary. So when you hear Wayne Larrivee talking about a Bear split end, you know the team doesn't have a problem with hair. They've just got a good football player who can catch.
Wayne Larrivee, Jim Hart, and Dick Butkus. We're back at Soldier Field. Final 15 minutes of play in this divisional playoff game. The Bears holding a 21-0 lead over the Giants. New York at a third down. 7 yards to go call. 42-yard line. New York territory. McConkey and Johnson both on to the left side. Lionel Manuel is wide to the right. Bill Sims steps up as he barks out the signals in the shotgun formation. Sims waits for the snap from Bart Oates' center. Here it is, and Sims on the back pedal, steps up over the middle. He goes, diving grab by George Adams, and he can't hang on, and they rule it incomplete. Adams was bobbling all the way as he crawled along the turf over the middle at the 45-yard line of Chicago. Singletary had the coverage for the Bears. 4th down, Giants. Sean Landeta comes on. He has been a busy man. 8 punts today. 39-yard average. Keith Ortego back in single safety. Landeta shades his eyes from the sun. He's looking right into it. Bart Oates on the snap. 4th down at 7 yards to go. The snap to Landeta. Moves forward and kicks it. Gets a floater underway. Fair catch signal by Ortego. And Ortego makes the catch near the 28-yard line. And I believe they're going to spot it at the 29, where the Bears will put it in play. 1st and 10 as we get underway this 4th period of play. 29-yard punt by Landeta. No return, obviously, on the fair catch. So the Bears offense now will try to grind out a little yardage and take some time off the clock.
Well, if they do what they did start of the second half, didn't they grind out about 6 minutes of that? 8 of the 8 minutes, was it?
8 minutes, one drive was. Yeah.
I believe that was the opening drive, too, of the third quarter. If they can do that with this 4th quarter, they'll be in good shape. But I think they're in good shape now anyway.
The way the defense is playing, I think you're right. Willie Gault wide to the right side. Dennis McKinnon to the slot right side. I formation backfield for the Chicago Bears. 1st down, 29-yard line. Bears territory. And Jim McMahon tossed Payton off left tackle. Payton following his blocking picks a hole across the 30, and Payton is swarmed under by Harry Carson and Terry Kennard. Across the 30, near the 32-yard line. Gain of 2 or 3 yards on that play. Give him a gain of 3, and it'll be a 2nd down at 7 yards to go.
This has been a very cleanly played game, don't you think, guys? There have been a lot of cheap shots, and that's kind of unusual for 2 defensive units that are as aggressive as these 2 are, 1 and 2 in the National Football League, to not see more 15-yard penalties than we have. Has there been a 15-yard penalty?
I haven't seen a 15-yarder.
I don't think so.
No. Running backs are split wide. Again, Gault wide to the right side. McKinnon out to the left, and McMahon fakes the handoff to Payton. Jump pass over the left side for Emery Moorhead, who made a driving attempt, incomplete. Near the 42-yard line, Gary Reasons on the coverage downfield. McMahon under a little bit of pressure back there. Leonard Marshall had sprung loose. Put some pressure on the Chicago quarterback, who is now 11 of 29 for 215 yards and 2 touchdowns. No interceptions.
Jim has been relatively free of pressure today.
How many turnovers? 1 turnover today?
For who?
The
Not
Giants,
for the Bears.
Right?
Just 1 total, yeah.
Giants have had 1 turnover.
Just that fumble in the opening series by Joe Morris.
Carpenter fumbled, and then the punt.
The punt, yeah.
You want to call that a turnover.
Shotgun formation. Like I said, 3 fumbles, right? 3 turnovers for the Giants. In motion, Gentry to the right side, turns back the other way. The snap to McMahon. Looked like the Giants were offside. McMahon fires offside. Diving attempt is made by Gentry near the 49-yard line. It's incomplete to the near side. Carl Banks had the coverage. Penalty marker down across the way. I thought one of the Giants had jumped offsides into the neutral zone. It looked like the linebacker, Andy Hedden.
Good eyes, Wayne. That's exactly what they're calling.
Yep.
How did you guys miss it? He was on our side of the field.
We didn't have a chance to see it.
Defense offside, number 54, 5 yards, third down.
This post is in the way right here in the middle of the booth. I couldn't see.
That's true. Second penalty against the Giants. No penalties against the Bears that have been accepted as of yet. I believe 1 penalty against the Bears that was turned down by the Giants that I can recall.
I was counting the number of Giants on defense, so I couldn't see the
This
play.
is almost like being at Wrigley Field with the girder in the middle, sitting right behind both posts.
Third down now. Yeah, but you've been doing this all year, Jim. This is your home ballpark now.
First time I've had to make that excuse.
Third down, about a yard to go off the 5-yard penalty. Running backs are split, receivers right and left, and in motion Payton to the near side. McMahon tossed to Calvin Thomas, burrowing his way off the left side. Thomas fighting forward. Good second effort as he breaks the tackle attempt of Lawrence Taylor to a first down out of the 40-yard line.
See what you do? You put Payton, because he's such an excellent blocker, you put him in motion to lead the play to take care of that cornerback.
Because the defense, when they see Walter Payton going in motion, automatically they think pass. They think, oh, you're trying to get him in a position to break on a linebacker, and you're not expecting him to throw a block.
So they marked the football just across the 40-yard line, or I should say squarely on the 40-yard line stripe, and it's a first down Chicago. Galt wide right, and McKinnon split to the near side. Calvin Thomas now teaming up with Walter Payton in the I formation. Payton the tail of the tandem behind Jim McMahon. McMahon ducks in under his center. Jay Hilgenberg deploys McKinnon in motion to the right side. Here's the handoff to Calvin Thomas. Off left tackle, Thomas picks his way across the 40 to about the 44-yard line. Looked to be a gain of about 4. Lawrence Taylor made the tackle. Second down at 6 yards to go coming up. But once again, McMahon on that play faked the pitch to the deep man, Payton, and handed it off to his fullback, Calvin Thomas.
Why it's been so difficult to run sometimes on the sweeps because Kenny Hill lines up so that it looks like almost a 3 rushman and almost like 5 linebackers because Hill, the safety man, he comes right on the line of scrimmage. So he's almost like playing a linebacker spot there, and that's why it's tough to run outside.
They spotted as a gain of just 3, so a second down at 7 yards to go. 43-yard line of Chicago for the Bears. Out of the I formation, McMahon looking to throw, jumps up, now nobody to throw to, scrambles left, head to the sideline to the 45, and it's out of bounds. That is out of bounds. To the Chicago bench in rather rude fashion, to say the least, by Kenny Hill. They went right into the Chicago bench on the near side. I do not see a flag.
No, referee Ben Wright was right there and was right on top of the play following the quarterback. That's his job. He runs with the quarterback right behind him. And he ruled that it was not a flagrant tackle.
McMahon scampering out of bounds with the help of Kenny Hill. Well, Hill actually made the hit while Walter was still in play.
Yep.
So now it's going to be for Chicago, a third down and almost 5 yards to go, a little bit less than 5.
Please don't run that run out of shotgun formation.
I'm mistaken. He got about 3 yards out of that play. Shotgun formation now for the Bears, third down. Wide receivers right, left, 3rd and 5. The snap to McMahon in the pocket. He rainbows the left side, going for Gentry, makes the over-the-shoulder attempt. It's incomplete. On the left side near the 25-yard line, Kenny Hill had the coverage downfield and was pretty much right with him. Pass overthrown. It's 4th down, Chicago.
It never ceases to amaze me to watch defensive backs who have good coverage, and then after the play they'll turn and point to somebody in an intimidating manner, say, "Hey, I got you." Yeah. When all you have to do is look at the scoreboard and say, "Hey, it's 21-0, Slick. What are you getting all upset about here?"
Bill McConkey back in single safety, and Maury Buford in punt formation. Is that what you used to call him, Slick?
You betcha. Don't use those 4-letter words. Everyone uses those.
Here's the snap. Buford gets an end-over-end kick away. And a low kick. McConkey makes the catch. Dancing at the 20. McConkey out to the 25. Penalty marker is down. Sean Gale on the tackle as McConkey veering to his left. Picked up a few yards. 33-yard punt that time. Going to spot the football just short of the 25 of the 24, and the penalty goes against the Giants.
Kennard put the whammy on our guy there, and then goes, "Who, me?"
Illegal block on a receiving team number 43. 10 yards penalty.
When you do it right in front of the official, how can you say, "Who, me? I didn't do anything."
Got 11:56 left to be played in the final period. It's 21-0 Bears over the Giants on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
All right, Billy, here's your little snow shovel.
Okay, Dad.
I'll start at this end of the driveway, you start at that end, and we'll shovel snow until we meet in the middle, then we'll have cocoa, okay?
I like Coke.
Good. Ready? Go. Heave-ho.
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 Dad?
What?
Is it time for Cocoa?
No. Heave-ho.
Dad?
What?
I don't want to do this anymore.
You said you wanted to help me.
You said it was fun.
I lied. Heave-ho.
Dad?
What?
Why don't we get a John Deere snowblower?
How do you know about John Deere snowblowers?
Joey's dad is the new 522 model.
Wasn't it expensive?
No, it's very affordable.
Oh.
Joey's dad loves it. He says the John Deere 522 handles like a small machine that throws snow like a big one.
Really?
And its engine is 5 horsepower.
Horsepower. Okay, we'll buy a John Deere snowblower.
Good idea.
As soon as we dig out the station wagon and find your mother.
Heave-ho.
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 From walk-behind units to tractor attachments, your local John Deere dealer carries a complete line of reliable John Deere snow removal equipment. Amico presents the Amico Sports Profile.
We're here with Jeff, the great Garant, famous French-Canadian hockey player. Jeff?
Hello.
Who are your idols?
Charles de Gaulle, Napoleon, and Bob, my dentist.
Fantastic. What keeps you going?
Amico Premium Net Free Gasoline.
Great gasoline for the great Garant.
Oh, you can say that again.
Who's your favorite character in a play?
Fuck in the get some of that cream?
Predictable. And where do you go to relax?
On the penalty box, huh?
Amazing. What's your biggest obstacle?
Oh, the ice, huh? It's very slippery, huh? When I go out there, it's very dangerous.
You're kind of...
Wayne Larrabee, Jim Hart, and Dick Butkus. First down, 10 yards to go for the Bears. They mark the football, rather for the Giants. They mark the football to the 12-yard line of New York. The Bears are leading 21-0 with 11:56 left to be played in this final period. And the Giants in the second half, no first down. They have 3 for the game, all of which came in the first half.
You know what I think is key? That the Bears got off to an early start because the way the defense of the Giants is playing, they're giving us some problems. And if we had to play catch-up ball, it would have been a little bit different.
Wide receivers straight to the left and right side. Split backfield for the New York Giants as Bill Sims ducks in under his center, takes the snap, drops back to throw. Sims wings it out to the left side. He's got his man at the 20, cutting right 25-30. George Adams across the 35, and he's out to the 38-yard line. Wilbur Marshall made the tackle on the play. George Adams, the leading Giants receiver out of the backfield, 31 receptions in the regular season, picks up 25 yards to a first down, and they mark it at a 37-yard line.
He's also listed as a rookie, Wayne, which is kind of unusual that they go to him a lot unless he played in the other league for a while.
No, he was at Kentucky.
He's caught the balls this year,
I know.
and they're isolating him on Mike Singletary.
Running backs are split, receivers left and right. Lionel Manuel wide to the right side, McConkey left, and back to throw. Sims off the play action. Over the middle he goes. Again, he's got big George Adams at the 40, cutting to his right to the 45. Adams close to a first down. Is wrapped up near the 46-yard line. Singletary makes the tackle for Chicago. George Adams becoming a big man now in the Giants' plans here as they look to move the football. Let's pause for station identification of the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
The sports writers follow football coverage here on WGN Radio Chicago.
Johnson left, Manuel out to the right side. Second down, a yard to go for the Giants near the 46-yard line, New York territory. Phil Sims ranges back to throw. Good protection. Sims throws it over the middle, and he's got his man. Wrapped up on the catch is the tight end, Mark Bavaro. And he was hit immediately by Dave Duerson, but he's got enough for the first down into Bears territory near the 47-yard line.
A little scuffle there. I don't know who's involved.
Otis Wilson's right in the middle of it.
Is he?
Otis said...
I think they're picking on the fridge. I don't know.
Otis couldn't remember Lawrence Taylor's name at one of the press conferences this week down at Sewanee, Georgia. The thing the papers didn't mention was that happened to be New Year's Day, and there wasn't a lot that Otis remembered that morning. Receivers left and right. First down from the 47-yard line. Sims back to pass. Blitz is on from Wilbur Marshall. Throws the left side. Bavaro latching on and stretching out close to a first down inside the 40 near the 37-yard line. Dave Duerson made the tackle for Chicago. Mark Bavaro, who earlier dropped a couple of passes, latching on and holding on now, 2 in a row. He's got another first down for the Giants at a 10-yard pickup.
You know, whether or not the Giants can throw deep, but they're going at this, smart, little nitpicking passes, but they're moving down the field.
9.5 minutes to go in the game. Bears are leading 21-0. Giants on the move. First and 10, 37-yard line of Chicago. Receivers left and right, and again, Sims back to throw. Sims looking downfield over the middle. He goes for Lionel Manuel. Pass overthrown, incomplete, and Manuel had a step on the coverage of Mike Richardson, but the pass not there.
Bill Sims has been off the mark a couple of times when he had open receivers deep downfield.
Deep ones, yeah.
If he could have connected, it could have been a tighter ball game.
Second down and 10 now for the Giants. Pass sailed incomplete inside the 5-yard line. Lionel Manuel, they say the thing about him is not his speed. He only does about a 4.6 40, but it's the ability he has to come out of his cuts with a great deal of quickness and burst. He'll make a turn on you and boom, he's gone. McConkey out to the left side. Byron Williams wide right. He does have good speed. 4.4 speed does Byron Williams possess. Split backfield out of second down, and Sims looking right. He flings it into the flat right side. Bavaro latches on and making a head-hunting tight tackle on the play as Otis Wilson brings Bavaro crashing to the ground. Close to a first down near the 26-yard line. I believe the Giants have picked it up, and they're moving the chains. First down, New York on an 11-yard pickup. 7 first downs for the game. 4th first down of the second half, all of which have come on this drive.
They're also using up valuable time in doing so.
Right.
Taking so long to score is going to hurt them in the end.
Bears leading 21-0. Giants on a first and 10, 26-yard line of Chicago. Bill Sims looking left and right. Maybe audibling on the play. Adams in motion to the left side. Sims takes and drops back. Blitz on. Sims tries to throw the pass. It's up for defense. The ball is loose in the backfield and covered up by the Giants. It appeared from my vantage point like he was trying to throw the ball, but the official did not say it was a pass. They ruled it a fumble. The Giants recovered. Back near the 35-yard line. A loss of 10.
Refrigerator
fallen on the ball.
Could have fell on it.
And it's our ball.
And he tried to take a swipe at it and pick it up. And
So a loss on that play of 9 yards as they mark it to the 35. Second down to 19 yards to go. Pressure all day has been consistent and relentless. Sims barking out the signals once again, almost using hand signals. Second down and long for the Giants, 35 of Chicago. Second and 19 now. Some jumping on the left side of the line. Brad Benson, the offensive tackle who was way off the line by at least a yard or two, reared back in motion.
60 offense.
And that is the call.
well, Richard Dent's on that side, seeing he's got a really, it's obviously a passing play, and he really wants to backpedal and get a jump on him.
Well, you mentioned that Dent has been taking that outside route. It looks like they're setting up the lineman now off the line. He's off the line by about a yard as Dent moves over to try to get the angle on Dent and then moves before the snap.
You see what's happening with the Giants. Their offensive players are relaying the audibles to the outside people. Rob Carpenter's doing it to this side.
Right.
And just trying to, because they can't hear very well.
The back.
Right.
Turn and yell it.
Off the penalty now. Second down and long from the 40-yard line. Second and 26, and Sims leans back, hit from behind. Ditto gets away from Dent. Penalty marker's down. He fires the right side of Carpenter at the 50, and Carpenter wrapped up inside the 50 at the 45-yard line. That's a loss of 5. There's a penalty marker down on the other side of the field, back near the 48-yard line. If it's against the Giants, it'll be a 5-yard loss anyway. Dent had the quarterback, made a high hit, and Sims spun out of the hit. The tackle attempt by Dent on the sack, and got the ball away to Carpenter, who was corralled.
Yeah, I think they're going to call Frazier for doing something to Richardson.
The officials missed the play. That missed it, though. They had a man in motion on the other side. There was the play before. Had a man in motion, and he clearly turned up toward the line before the ball was snapped, and they didn't call it.
The officials are conferring. Apparently it is against the Bears. Let's take a 10-second timeout on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Nova, the brightest new star from Chevrolet. It's the best of both worlds. See it today at your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers.
The Bears are guilty of lining up into the neutral zone.
9 on the clock.
First penalty accepted against the Bears for 5 yards.
7:09 on the clock.
The official, when he made his indication as to who the penalty was on specifically, said 79. I don't think there is a 79 on the Bears defensive line.
Had to be 99, I guess.
I would think it would be Dan Hampton in that regard. They're going to mark the football just outside the 35-yard line now. Second down and 21 yards to go for the Giants. 7:01 left to be played in the game. Bears are leading 21-0. Split backfield for the Giants. Johnson left. Byron Williams wide right. Sims takes. Hands off Shannon. Gives to Williams on a sweep left. He's hit and dropped on the play by Richard Dent.
Who else? Great play. Because he rushes from the outside, they thought, well, maybe he's going to cut in inside and they'll be able to get around him, but no dice.
Loss of 10 back to the 45-yard line. Third down and long.
Phil Sims tried to block Richard Dent. Picture that.
Dent snuffed out that reverse as they made their way from right to left across the offensive formation with a man with good speed in Byron Williams. And he does about a 4.40, as I mentioned before. Now, third down, 31 yards to go. 45-yard line of the Bears. Bill Sims in the shotgun formation. Slot to the right side of the wide receivers. The snap to Sims. Sims has time. Now throws over the middle. The leaping grab made by Phil McConkey. He's hit once, spins away, and then is driven down short of the first down at the 22-yard line. Mike Singletary finally brought him down. Gary Fensick, the man who made the initial hit. So they mark it to the 22-yard line, a 23-yard pickup. The Giants are still short of that first down.
Great concentration by McCarkey, knowing that he's going to get his bell rung as soon as he catches the ball. Makes a fine catch and then does get racked by Gary Fensick and keeps his feet, which is another remarkable thing.
Yeah, usually when Fensick hits you, you drop the ball or something, or at least you lose your footing.
Maybe that's like the chicken. When he gets his head cut off, so he keeps running around.
Fourth down and 6. The Giants are going for it from the Chicago 22-yard line. Bill Sims marks out the signals. Receivers break to the left and right side. Ferris and all blitz. Sims nowhere to go. Down he goes. Back at the 30-yard line. 6 sacks for Chicago. Gary Fensick up the middle. The free safety blitz. The Bears take over.
First time we've seen the free safety blitz with Gary Fensick today. What a timely time for it.
The free safety blitz ends the Giant drive, and the Bears will take over, and they're going to spot the football to the 27-yard line. On a 1st and 10. Break in the action, fourth quarter. Bears 21, Giants nothing on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Removing rough wood, peeling paint, and damaging rust can be a tedious struggle. But now you can make that tough job much easier with 3M sanding supplies from True Value Hardware Store. Hi, Pat Summerall to suggest the reusable 3M stripping pad for only 88 cents. It's designed to easily remove old paint and varnish with the help of your favorite chemical stripper. Rough, unfinished wood is no match for the 3M sanding block kit. It features 5 durable sandpaper sheets and a long-lasting block, all for just $2.66. To get rid of rust and paint from metal and wood, True Value Hardware Stores recommend the 3M Clean and Strip Kit for only $3.44. Simply attach its flexible brush to your electric drill, and you have a powerful stripper that won't rust or splinter. You'll find all these fine 3M sanding supplies at participating True Value Hardware stores and home centers. And while you're there, be sure to pick up an application for a True Value charge card, good at thousands of participating True Value Hardware stores nationwide. Ask your dealer for details.
The Bears are on their way to the Super Bowl, and it's clear they're winners with the right lineup. Well, La Victoria's got the right lineup just for you. Salsa Suprema, sensational over a hamburger. Chili dip, terrific with chips. Taco sauce, a great topper for tacos or hot dogs. And just like the Bears, La Victoria's got every position covered. They've got a salsa, dip, or sauce to turn every meal or snack into a winner. Enjoy La Victoria. That's La Victoria. Champions of great taste since 1917.
Stay with us after the game for the Locker Room Show. We'll be visiting with the key players in today's game, as well as head coach Mike Ditka. The Locker Room Show follows the game. And coming up on our flagship station, WGN Radio, our coverage this week, NFC Championship coverage begins 7:30 tomorrow morning. Mike Ditka visits with Wally Phillips. Willie Gault wide to the right side. Dennis McKinnon to the slot right side. The Bears have a 21-0 lead, and we've got 5:09 left to go. Chicago first down, 27-yard line. Bears territory. Split backfield. Now McKinnon in motion to the near side. McMahon hands it off to Walter Payton, sweeping left. Payton makes the move around a block by Bortz across the 30. And he's out to the 34-yard line. Wrapped up on the play on the near side by Gary Reasons. Terry Kennard also there for the Giants, and for the Bears, a 7-yard pickup.
Dennis McKinnon. Slick your heart was there. I think he's seen it too. Boy, he leveled Lawrence Taylor.
That's not an easy job to do. A lot of linemen haven't been able to do that.
Yeah. Must have caught him off balance.
Second down and about 3 yards to go. Bortz was also out in front of that play, and Perry Williams, the cornerback, jumped away from Bortz as Bortz made his block move. Running backs are split, receivers right and left for the Bears. Second down to 3 yards to go. McKinnon in motion to the right side, handoff. Payton slanting toward the middle. Payton buries himself straight ahead across the 35, and we've got a scuffle going on now away from the ball. Lawrence Taylor, Dennis McKinnon.
He turned immediately and just went after McKinnon because McKinnon was going to come blocking down, and he just threw like a half punch at McKinnon, and then Tim Reitman came over to help out. Now that, great as player as he is, now that's, frustration or whatever. That's uncalled for. A class player like that.
Meanwhile, back in the play, which was up the middle, Walter Payton got almost 3 yards. Third down and less than a yard to go now for the Chicago Bears. 3:56 left to be played of the football game. The Bears will play the NFC Championship game here in Chicago next Sunday against the Los Angeles Rams. Receivers break to the right and left sides. I formation backfield for Chicago. McMahon takes, hands it off to Walter. Started to the middle, bounces to the outside around the left end, makes the turn to the 40. He's out to the 43-yard line and is shoved down to the near sideline. Danny Hill got over to make the coverage into the Chicago bench. So it is a first down for the Chicago Bears, gain of 6.
See, they're really frustrated. And Taylor now is just taking shots at anybody that comes block. He's not even going to try to make the tackle. Whoever tries to block him, he's going to throw that right elbow or right forearm shiver and try to hurt somebody because whatever. He didn't do it. He should have been doing that earlier in the game.
So on a day when defense came to the fore on a cold but sunny afternoon at Soldier Field, the offense did just enough to win, and they're looking to salt this victory away. 3 minutes left to go in the football game. 21-0 Bears. Split backfield, receivers right and left. taking the handoff to Peyton McMahon on a bootleg rolling left. He's out there with Taylor, and Taylor collars him and throws him down at the 46-yard line. Gain of 3 yards on the play. Lawrence did ease up a little bit there. Could have really taken a shot on Jim McMahon.
The great nose tackle, Jim Burt, number 64, is back in there. He was, I think this is the first series he's been in the whole second half. They claimed he had a slight concussion. Well, it doesn't matter if he doesn't know where to go as long as he's there. You don't feel
They probably kept asking him, what stadium you in?
Yeah.
He finally got it right. And so he's back. McKinnon wide right, and again, out to the left side. They send Willie Galt. Running backs line up in the I formation for the Bears. Second down and 7 yards to go. On a delay, give to Peyton. Peyton slips and falls, and down he goes. Appeared to lose his footing. He lost a yard or two on the plays. He goes down to the 44-yard line. Kenny Hill was coming up from behind. 2-minute warning given to both benches. In this NFC Divisional Playoff game, Bears lead the Giants 21-0 on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
On the walls of a cave near Lascaux in southern France are some crude but remarkably sensitive paintings. Paintings which show animals that disappeared from Europe 10,000 years ago. The people who made the paintings also disappeared, leaving few traces of their civilization behind. There is almost nothing on Earth, including the Earth itself, which has remained the way it was. One exception is water. Water, stored deep in stone caverns below the ground, will stay in its perfect, pure, natural state for tens of thousands of years. To make our old-style beer, the House of Heilemann brews only with water of a purity and freshness that can no longer be found on the surface of the earth. To end with perfection, we begin with perfection. Heilemann's old-style beer, brewed with water from when the earth was pure. G. Heilemann Brewing Company, La Crosse, Wisconsin.
The action doesn't stop after today's ball game. Stay tuned for 3.5 hours of post-game coverage. Larrabee, Hart, Butkus, Bob Thomas, Hub Arkwich, George Reddix, and yours truly, Chuck Swirsky. And of course, you and other fans. With analysis, replays, the locker room scene, Bears talk on the phone, and for a different perspective, the sports writers. Then tomorrow morning at 7:30, hear what Mike Ditka has to say on the Wally Phillips Show. It's no contest. For Bears football, you just can't beat WGN Radio.
It is a third down now for the Chicago Bears, and after the loss of yardage on the previous play, third and about 9 yards to go. Walter Payton now 26 carries, 91 yards. McKinnon is split wide to the right side. Willie Galt comes out to the near side. Lone setback is Walter Payton. Matsui deployed in motion to the wing on the right side. On third down, McMahon looking over the defense. Long count. Here comes Suey in motion to the near side. Hand off to Walter Payton. Crashes the middle, and he's hit and thrown back. Jim Burt, the nose tackle, met him head on and shoved him back on the play. Walter got out to the 46. So maybe a gain of 2, but that was it. Fourth down, and the Giants will get the ball another time. Timeout called by the Giants. Their first timeout. They stop the clock with 1:54 to go. So again, with a timeout of the field to score, the Bears 21, the Giants nothing on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Soon someone who doesn't know anything about you could sit down at their computer and assign you a new long-distance company. They won't know how much easy access to all those AT&T long-distance services means to you. They won't know how much you like having AT&T's clear long-distance connection. They won't know how important it is to you that your calls go through instantly, even at the busiest time. They won't know how much you need our worldwide calling or services like AT&T Cards, collect calls, and operator credit. But you don't have to let them decide. If you're asked to choose a long-distance company, make sure you make the choice yourself. Remember to send in your ballot. AT&T long-distance service. For over 100 years, when you reached out, we were there. And you can keep it that way. AT&T, the right choice.
Football resting at the 46-yard line. Fourth down, 7 yards to go for the Chicago Bears. Maury Buford on in punt formation. Bill McConkey back in single safety for the New York Giants. Buford so far today averaging 34 yards per punt. He has had 5 punt attempts, and the kick by Buford sailing toward the near side. A high kick takes a Chicago hop inside the 15 to the 10 on the roll. The Bears have it covered, and they're going to down it down to the 1-yard line.
Did you see the wind blowing it towards the goal line?
That ball hit Blair up near about the 15-yard line.
Yeah, they took a bounce and a roll on its side, and then the wind and just start rolling.
On the near side of the Bears, down at a 53-yard punt.
On the 1.
The Giants start from the 1-yard line. 1st and 10, and they're down 21-0 with 1:38 to go.
Who hasn't scored on defense? He's only just got a yard to go.
Could happen real quick. Apparently somebody touched the ball on the 3-yard line because that's where the officials have moved it. So somebody, as the Bears crowded around the ball, somebody might have touched it.
See, Rivera's in there for Singletary. The Taylor's in there, corner.
Bears have their backup personnel on.
Phillips.
I want to remind you, our coverage of the NFC Championship game begins tomorrow morning on our flagship station, WGN Radio. Mike Ditka at 7:30. The Bear Report on Sports Central at 6:30. On Thursday, the update from Jim McMahon at 8:30 in the morning. And Dan Hampton at 5:15 with Bob Collins on Friday afternoon. And then Sports Central, a 3-hour Bears presentation from 6 to 9 p.m. on Friday night. Should say Jim McMahon will be on at about 8:20 on Thursday afternoon. So you'll get an update from the Bears quarterback, and he'll be, I imagine, down in Suwanee, Georgia.
Are they going back down there this week?
Mike Ditka said that if they won, they would go back. I don't know if that thinking has changed, but as of when we left Atlanta, it had not. And knowing Mike, who is a little superstitious in that if he does something, if they do something in preparation for a game that works and they win, and they won last year going into Washington by preparing down in Atlanta, they win this game up here after preparing in Atlanta, I guarantee they're going to go back down there. Just the tendency.
Well, I'm sure the players will welcome that grass field, too.
That's the big thing, and that's what's helped Dennis McKinnon. Everybody said, well, the Bears, why don't they practice in the cold weather? Get used to it. They live in this stuff.
That's right.
How much more used to it can you be?
That's right. They've been practicing in it all year.
Well, let's get the shutout now.
Giants with their backfield lined up in the end zone. Sims in the shotgun formation. Here's the snap, hands it off to the running back. Galbraith up the middle, twisting across the 5 to the 10 and fighting his way out to the 12-yard line. Good second and third effort by Galbraith, and again, away from the ball, some extracurricular activity, a little fight break.
Oh, look at that 80. Get that guy out of there.
Bill McConkey jumping in late, and he was taken down by Reggie Phillips. Talking about the fight now, not the play. Giants are a frustrated football team.
So.
There is no question about it. They are a study in frustration.
Throwing McConkey out, too.
Yeah, it was.
That doesn't take a lot of intelligence when you try to swing at a guy. He's hit the top of the helmet with your hand on a cold day with the temperature's 10 degrees. Wait a minute.
Gain of 9 in that play. Second down, about a yard to go. Shotgun formation again for the Giants. The snap to Sims, the rush on. Swings it out into the flat left side. He's got his man Galbraith bouncing off a defender. Across the 15-20, get a first down and more as he angles out of bounds near the 23-yard line. Gale on the far side forced him out of bounds. That stops the clock with 62 seconds left to be played in the football game.
I think it's interesting to note that here you have the Chicago Bear defense that their whole thing is rushing the passer. And with 1 minute and 2 seconds, that's the first time the Giants have tried to screen pass all day.
I was going to say.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I thought their game plan, all the way through, offensively and defensively, was pretty good. But
receivers left and right, first down, 23-yard line for the Giants. Rolling right, Sims looks downfield, winds up, throws downfield on the right side. Byron Williams makes the catch, but he was juggling it as he stepped out of bounds near the 48-yard line of Chicago. Sean Gale had the coverage on the near side, and Byron Williams latched down, but not until he was out of bounds. Second and 10, Giants back to the 23-yard line. You talk about Bill McConkey. He spent 4 years in the Navy as a naval helicopter pilot, and you would think he'd have a little more sense than to try to swing and hit somebody in the helmet with his bare hand or his glove-clad hand. Second down and 10 now for the Giants from the 23-yard line. Giants territory. Again, the shotgun formation. 56 seconds left to go. The snap again to Bill Sims. Swings it left for Galbraith, and the pass overthrown incomplete.
They're going to get over the Florida Wilson for roughing the passer.
Flag. Yes, they have. You're right.
He kind of really just leaned into him, but he went at his legs.
Roughing the passer against the Bears, first down. New York Giants.
There's no reason to do that.
Earlier this week.
55, roughing the passer, 15 yards, that's a first down.
I believe it was Dan Hampton down in Georgia was saying that based on the Bears' preparations down there, he said, we're going to shut him out. And everyone kind of laughed and said, oh, yeah. guys always talk, but they came out here and did it. They flat out have shut out the Giants. 52 seconds left to go. Giants have it first and 10 from the 38-yard line. I hope I didn't jinx it now. Slot to the left side. Receivers wide to the left and right sides, and Sims back to throw. Rainbows deep down the left side for Byron Williams. Makes a spinning grab inside the 30 of the 29-yard line of Chicago. Dave Duerson on the tackle. 33-yard pickup to a New York first down to the 29 of Chicago. Best looking deep pass Sims has thrown all day.
Yeah. And he got leveled by Otis Wilson after the play.
Johnson wide to the left side. Williams and Lionel Manuel both out to the right. The snap to Sims out of the shotgun, rolling right, being pressured by Hartenstein. Floats to the right side, coming back for it, Lionel Manuel, but he drops it and he was out of bounds anyway, near the 18-yard line of the near side. Dave Duerson had the coverage. Richard stops the clock with 16 seconds to go.
See, Richard Dent still in there, the starting rushmen. Tyrone Keys, Wachter, and Hartenstein are up front now.
Richard came up limping after the play before last, too.
There's an article in the Tribune today quoting Richard Dent's agent as saying that he might hold him out of the Super Bowl if his contract situation for next year is not resolved.
Oh, my.
Isn't that terrible? But what a day Richard Dent has had.
That's all he has to do is just play like he did today.
Receivers race to the left and right sides on a second down and 10. Phil Sims up over the center. Bart Oates now. Bears in an all-out blitz posture defensively, and here they come. Sims lofts the right side. Nobody there. Lionel Manuel being held up on the near side by Ken Taylor. And the pass overthrown, and Sims just had to get rid of the football. Tyrone Keys was in there on him. Ron Rivera was coming hard. Otis Wilson. We have 11 seconds left to be played. Well, you hate to see that kind of talk at this stage. I mean, this is maybe a once-in-a-lifetime type season for these players, for Richard Dent in general, and to be squabbling and worried about contracts at this time. I don't care what kind of contract he's playing under now. There's no justification for bringing it to the fore at this stage of the season. That is totally ridiculous. Receivers left and right on a third down and 10 from the 29-yard line. Shotgun formation. Phil Sims looks it over now as he steps back while he barks out the signals. Here's the snap to Sims. Over the middle he goes, and it's off the hands of Byron Williams. Incomplete. It bounced around in the secondary like a pinball and was very nearly picked away. Sean Gale had the coverage. Byron Williams cutting toward the middle on that play. Nearly made the catch at the 10-yard line. Fourth down for the New York Giants, 10 yards to go. 6 seconds remaining, and the Bears defense smells and wants the shutout. Jim McMahon on the sidelines, revving up the crowd. Walter Payton joining in. I don't think many of the 62,000 plus that showed up originally here today have left. Receivers straight to the left and right side for the Giants on a fourth down. Sims ranges back to throw. Looks downfield, has time. Rainbows the left side going for the end zone, and the pass is tipped away. Incomplete. Intended for Lionel Manuel. As time winds down, and the Chicago Bears have advanced, defeating the New York Giants in impressive fashion, 21-0 here at Soldier Field. And the Bears will play for the second year in a row in the NFC Championship game against the Los Angeles Rams, and the Rams will come to Chicago. The offense of the second half did enough to get it done, to put some breathing room between the Bears and Giants, but it was a day for defense, and a day in particular for Richard Dent. He was nothing short of awesome.
And without the Giants' last-ditch effort here, moving almost the length of the field, coming up short, obviously, without that drive, I don't know that they gained 100 yards in the second half.
Most impressive performance, and the Bears now get the Los Angeles Rams, a team that, quite frankly, gentlemen, did not display the kind of offensive balance that the New York Giants were capable of this season. And the Rams are basically Eric Dickerson, and that has been their strength.
Along with their specialty teams. They got excellent specialty teams. They've scored something like, I don't know. I know one, Brown got 2 or 3 kickoff returns by himself. It's going to be a real challenge, I think, for our specialty teams to, come up against and shut that phase of the game out. You've got another single back who you've got to stop, and I got to say, Dickerson's a little bit better than Joe Morris at this stage of the game. So they're going to challenge.
Not to excuse the Giants today, but Joe Morris was not at 100%. No. And next week we're going to see an Eric Dickerson who is at 200% and flying high. Right. So it's going to be another tough ball game.
248-yard performance.
Oh, my. But it's not as nice here
as it was in L.A.
That's right.
And they're not playing on grass, and who knows what the weather will be like next week at this time. We did get a good day to play football today, albeit it was a cold day and a windy day on the floor of the stadium. The Bears defeat the Giants by the score of 21-0. We'll continue our wrap-up after we take this 90-second timeout of the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Tom, Dick, Harry, long time no see. What are you doing?
We started an HMO.
I thought you were in home remodeling.
Same difference.
Well, what do you know about HMOs?
Just enough. One on every corner.
Oh, whoa, wait, what about high quality? See, I belong to Anchor.
Too far to go.
But boys, it's never too far to go for quality health care.
HMOs are HMOs are HMOs. Same difference.
Anchor's not the same difference. How long have you boys been in the HMO business?
7:30 this morning.
Anchor, not the same difference, but rather the only HMO founded and sponsored by Rush Presbyterian St. Luke's Medical Center. Anchor provides full outpatient and inpatient care through 15 medical facilities and a dozen highly regarded community hospitals. No deductibles, no co-payments, and no claim forms. Just full Anchor coverage. Available through major employers. You may call any Tom, Dick, and Harry, or join a unique health plan. Anchor, 347-3440. That's 347-3440.
Bear fans, here's one stat you won't want to miss. It's 7.9% financing at your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealer. 7.9% GMAC financing can save qualified buyers hundreds on new 85 and 86 Cavaliers, Novas, 2.5-liter Celebrities, and El Camino. Get 7.9 on 2- and 4-wheel drive full-size pickups as well. Just take retail delivery from dealer stock, and 7.9% financing is yours at your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealer.
For the second time in 2 years, the Chicago Bears will play for the NFC Championship at a trip to the Super Bowl, and they'll play this time at home, unlike last year when they played out at Candlestick Park against the San Francisco 49ers. And the challenge before the Bears now, the Los Angeles Rams, who sport one of the best runners in the league, certainly in Eric Dickerson, but also the very best, with no question about that, special teams in all of pro football. So it should be a great matchup, and it'll be back here again at Soldier Field next week. Again, the final today, the Chicago Bears, in most impressive fashion, have defeated the New York Giants 21-0. Do want to remind you, those of you listening on our flagship station, WGN Radio in Chicago, our coverage of the NFC Championship begins tomorrow morning at 7:30 as Wally Phillips chats with Mike Ditka, Jim Hart at 8:15, special Bears Central Bears report, and I should say Sports Central Bears report featuring Mike McCaskey, the president of the Bears, at 6:30. And then coming up on Thursday morning, Jim McMahon will be speaking live, I believe, from Atlanta, Georgia. And that'll be coming up at 8:20 in the morning on the Wally Phillips Show. Dan Hampton joins Bob Collins at 5:15 p.m. in the evening on Friday. And then on Friday night, a special Sports Central, a special 3-hour Bears presentation from 6 to 9 p.m. That's the programming we have for you, the extra programming on WGN throughout the week as we get ready for the NFC Championship game here in Chicago. And I might add, the last time the Bears played championship game football was 22 years ago in 1963 when they defeated the Giants and advanced and won the World Championship, their last World Championship, and that was back at Wrigley Field 22 years ago. Again, the final score, the Bears 21, the Giants nothing. That's our wrap-up for today. This is the Chicago Bears Radio Network. Brought to you by True Value Hardware Stores. The more you've got to do, the more you need True Value Hardware Stores, because they've got what it takes. Today, Chevrolet, who invites you to live the style, performance, and fun of Chevrolet in 86. The Illinois Office of Tourism, Department of Commerce and Community Affairs. Amoco Premium Lead-Free. Amoco, your car knows. Heilemann Old Style Beer, brewed with water from when the earth was pure.